I thought that would be appropriate for what the first topic we're going to talk about tonight. Welcome everybody to the Fandom Zone, and you are on Late Night Talks with Zod and PB. Of course, PB is late because I think he wanted the Australian to beat him tonight.
And so I did.
You're like, challenge accepted. So, welcome everyone. Go ahead. Before we get started with this shindig, Stevie, go ahead and tell the fine folks about yourself and the new video. I did check it out. The new video you just posted.
Yeah, good day everyone. Stevie J from Stevie J Reviews. As it suggests, movie reviews, the main thing I do. Some trailer reactions and some other stuff as well. But yeah, the most recent one I put out was Suicide Squad review. Basically just bagging it because it was no good.
So even after your second time watching, nothing changed.
Exactly. It's like, you know what? Maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance. So I watched it again. I was like, no, I definitely gave it what it deserved.
You know, I've done that too. I've gone back and I've said maybe there were movies I was unfair to, right? So I go back and I go, you know, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. Believe it or not, okay, when I went to see Captain Marvel the second time, I think I was more open-minded than the first time I went. Because the first time I went, I go, man, people are just going to want my reaction for this. My friends have been dying for me to make this stupid video, so I'm just going to go and do a stupid reaction to this. Okay, and I came out, and I was like, all right, well, Brie Larson wasn't as annoying, but it was still a pretty bad movie. And then I saw it the second time, and I'm like, yep, still a pretty bad movie.
Yeah, well, I think with Captain Marvel, it was irritating Brie Larson talking all that shit before the movie came out. It was really, really annoying. So when you went to see it the first time, you were already pissed off when when you went to see it. And then and the movie, so when you see it a second time, it's still bad. It's still really bad, but it doesn't quite have the same level of anger because you don't have all that Brie Larson stuff fresh in your mind. But it is just a really boring movie. And
yeah, I think that's the problem.
Really boring.
Like, people called us sexist or whatever else, right? But if you look at it objectively, and I'm saying you just you just take Brie Larson out, and don't worry, folks, this is going to come into what our first topic of the evening is. But I think you guys should get an in-track kind of look at how we perceive things, because I like to think of me and Stevie as objective movie viewers. What's up, Senate? Love to have you. Starts off the night with a bang. What up, you fucking fuckers? True Senate style.
Crazy.
All right, guys.
Welcome, Senate.
So when we go into a movie, an objective critic can sometimes be biased. I say this because when you never should do a review on the first viewing, which is why, if you notice, my reviews take a long time to come out. Because when I go in the first time, if I like what I'm seeing, I'm going to be overhyped, and I might not look at it objectively. Just like if I don't like what I'm seeing when I first hear the stuff surrounding it, I might be biased to the actual movie itself. Like, for instance, with Logan, I had some issues with that, and it was mostly the immigration shit that they had put into the movie. When I took it out and I singled out just the performances, I realized in the context of X-Men, this is a great movie. But I did have that thing that pissed me off, where it first came out of the movie, I was like, I don't know how I feel. So then my friend got the Blu-ray, I rewatched it, and I said, you know what? This might be the greatest X-Men movie they've ever done, just from a filmmaking standpoint, from the acting, everything. I mean, so you have those biases inherent when you see a movie. So first time you see a movie like Suicide Squad, Captain Marvel, and stuff like that, depending on what's promoted, you're going to have a bias going in. And sometimes when you get that second viewing, you sit down and you go, you know what? I was a little bit harsher. Suicide Squad, I thought it was a fun movie. I didn't bag it as hard as most people. Obviously, I'm a DC fan. But I do recognize the flaws.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
The
I
Senate
guess
said, hold on, I gotta highlight this super chat from the Senate. I'm banned on Twitter for 6 days. I feel fucking great. Jesus, Senate.
success.
Continue.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you know, you've got the comic book kind of background, which I don't have. I never really read comics, but Suicide Squad for me, when I first saw it advertised, I was like, it looks good. Like visually, it looks pretty good. It's got Will Smith in it, Margot Robbie, that's good. Jared Leto, that's good. Um, and from the trailer, I was like, yeah, the Joker looks okay. I mean, it'll depend on a lot of things, but it's a different look for him, but it looks okay. But then they just mashed the characters together, and I mean, I talk about it in my video, but the opening scene was awesome, right? It had House of the Rising Sun playing, and it was like, this is cool as. And then the next 20 minutes happened, and I was like, did the director and the writers literally just tell me exactly what's happening, like exactly who all these characters are through this rubbish dialogue? I'm pretty sure they just did. Like, that whole reveal of the characters to me was just very, very average. And I thought that the first time I saw it, and then the second time I saw it, it was no different.
I like what Giga Style
But
Tennessee said. He said, once you become a reviewer, or the bad word, critic, you stop being a movie fan. You can walk into a movie with pen and paper and expect to watch it from a fan's eyes. Yeah, and it's true. It's different. Like, I do the pen and paper thing. Sometimes annoyingly, like, I have people like, why is there a light in that thing? And I'm like, shut up, I work here. But you know, when you go in as a critic, it's different. It really is different than if you go in as a fan, which is why I always suggest going to the movie if you like it twice, or if you do what we do, because you should go in once as a fan with nothing and just like bare bones, and picking the things out that you like. And then if you do this, you should go in with your pad and your paper and go, okay, the lighting's good, the scenery's good, I like this shot, I like the way they pull back the camera on this scene, I like how the director alludes to things to come, but this shot and this shot and this is pretty good, and this song cues in at just the right moment, because people don't realize the aspects. Like, the normal moviegoer knows that they like the movie, but it's kind of funny. That's why they need good critics, because they don't know why they like the movie. They go, oh, it was
yeah,
great,
exactly.
but they don't know why. They can't put their finger on it. And our job is to explain to them, or give them some kind of a hint as to why they are so entranced by the movie.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the same. Oh, I think it's the same going back the other way. Like, if people don't like a movie, they similarly don't know why they don't like it exactly either. Like, so a lot of people will come out of the movie and go, I didn't really like that much, or it didn't give me a great deal, or whatever, but they don't really know why it didn't give them what they were looking for. And it might be to do with the tone, or it might be to do with the writing, or it might be to do with the character arcs not written well, or something like that. So people don't often get that, and I cop it all the time, because if I'm watching something with my wife, like I was watching something the other day, I can't remember what it was, and I can't help myself. I just turned around to her and I'm like, I cannot watch this. The editing is just so terrible in this movie. I can't watch it. It's giving me a headache.
Yeah, and that's the
And she's
curse
like,
that we bear from doing this.
yeah.
It's
And
like,
she's like, yeah. She goes, what are you talking about? And I go, well, just see that, like, watch for 5 minutes and watch how quick the edits are. It cuts back and forth and back and forth. And then she's like, oh yeah, now I can see it. I'm like, yeah,
yeah,
I can't help it.
that's the thing. Like, Okay, like me and my dad's got a critical mind, but some things he's able to let go because he doesn't critique daily like I do. And so we argued about Game of Thrones season 8, and he's like, I don't understand why you're jumping on the train and hating it. And I go, Dad, you don't understand. This is what I do. I'm not just on the bandwagon saying I hate it. I gave him reasons why, and he countered those arguments pretty well because me and my dad have good banter back and forth. I mean, picture essentially two of me's arguing with myself, and you got the conversation. And you know, yeah, it's things you notice that you don't see, and similarly with trailers. And I bring it full circle because I just clued you into a great trailer that I wanted to talk about, and that's our first topic of the night. But before we get into that, we have super chat from the Senate that says Mueller is my favorite YouTube critic, and I agree. I like Mueller. I think he does some good stuff. I also like Doomcock and Robot Head. They have some very good critiques. They're very satirical. I like stuff like that. And as you guys know, I love Jeremy Johns. So
Yeah, Jeremy Johns is good. The others that you mentioned are good too. I also like the Critical Drinker because he's pretty funny as well.
oh yeah,
Have you
he's
ever seen
fucking
him?
hilarious.
Yeah,
So
and his Scottish accent helps.
let me ask, do you think if I play this from another channel, they'd strike me for the content or no?
I don't know.
Because I was
There's only
thinking
one way
of,
to find out, isn't it?
I know somewhere PD is scouring and LB would be like, no, but I feel like I got to show the trailer to give people context. So
Yeah, well, if you pause it every now and again, that should make a difference.
what about maybe not use sound?
Yeah, well, that'll definitely help.
All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna screen share with you guys, and I'm gonna put it in caps so that we can talk about it. And I'm playing on Grace's channel because I like Grace Randolph. So let me see. Well, what the fuck? Where are the subtitles? Okay. Okay, this is just. Okay, so this is the opening shot. And basically the lady just says, like, leave my kid alone. He does the best laugh. And, you know, you guys can check out this trailer.
The laugh was awesome.
The best line I heard was when the psychiatrist is getting ready to say at that scene, I'm just going to pause it. The psychiatrist is getting ready to say that this is our last session. And he goes, you know, every time I come here, you ask the same questions. And he goes, you know, something about you are a little bit angry or whatever he said, or he says I'm always angry or something like that. So
yeah, he says you always ask me about whether I've got any negative thoughts, and he says all I've got is negative thoughts,
which I thought was really good. And like this is him. Robert De Niro plays this comic, and he plays a clip of him, and then he kind of mocks him. on television. And then you could see him in the suit right there. And here's the thing that's unclear is whether or not this starts because of him or it's something that's starting in Gotham and he is just like adding fuel to the fire. Like we're seeing a lot of these clowns.
Yeah,
And
because
I don't
he's
know.
amongst it as well, isn't he? He's not like, it doesn't look like he's leading it necessarily.
It just looks like he's like taking it to the next level.
Mm.
And there he laughs, and that's Bruce Wayne's father. And he punches him. And like it feels like maybe this movement was starting, but it didn't have no one. And right here he says, "Hey, can you do me a favor? When I come on, can you introduce me as Joker?"
Yeah, great line. I like that little bit, that little snippet there too of him obviously kicking the crap out of someone in an alley. That that was a good little bit to throw in there as well.
And so, I mean, like looking at this dress, I like the feel of it. It's like how he's got the clown makeup going and whatnot. It's not exactly
Mm.
Heath Ledger, but there is shades of it, like the old school green hair.
Yeah. You know, it looks like a very good mixture of Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger's Jokers, because Jack Nicholson had that more purple suit, and he had like similar features to what Joaquin has there. He also had that scene in the back of a studio, the new studio, when he was getting, they had the spray that made everyone smile or whatever. Um, so I think it's actually a really good mixture of the two of them by the looks of it, because he's sort of got more like the Heath Ledger hair, um, and other parts of Heath Ledger's Joker, but then also the Jack Nicholson as well. And his laugh, that was a really good laugh.
Yes, and geekicidal tendencies. I do hear you, buddy. If I don't address the chat right away, it's because I'm screen sharing and I can't bounce between the yard and the chat. But
Yeah.
yes, I agree with you, geekicidal tendencies. I think it's going to be an amazing film, incredible. It's Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, I've not
Mm.
yet seen him in a really poor movie. So
No. And look, funnily enough, talking about Suicide Squad before, another DC movie. This one, I mean, DC have made some mistakes with their movies over the last few years, which I'm sure you're very, very much in turmoil over. But um, the feel of this one is so much more enthralling to look at than the past 3 or 4 DC movies. I mean, I'm no big hater of CGI and and effects and all that kind of stuff, but the real feel that this movie has, it's obviously set in what, the 70s or something,
hmm
um, and the costumes and the camera lens, it all just looks really kind of depressing in a way, which is what it's meant to be, I suppose. And it looks like it's just going to focus on his character and the dive that he takes, which is one of the most interesting stories I think they could tell.
Exactly. And I've heard, see, this is the problem with DC fans. Geek style tendencies. Thank you. I was just I was clearing that up. Uh, it was this film to me is great, but a lot of DC fans are now going back to that old BS thing, and we talk about it a lot. And don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of source material. I know Pee-wee's pulling his hair out somewhere when I say that, but I'm a fan of source material like anyone else. But there is a point where you have to say this is a different universe. This is a movie. This is a different medium, and you have to remember your audience that you're catering to when you make something like this, and the built-in base. And the base for the Joker, film-wise, is a sort of artistic kind of thing. And so I think that it is fine with them uh, going in a different artistic route. They have said this is not the Joker per se. This is the start of the idea of the Joker. And I get that feel from watching the trailer. This is the genesis of what would create the Joker. And I think that that story is interesting. Um, if we're not ever going to get who the man is, because that's essentially his character, it would be interesting to see how the revolution started. And that's what Joker is. He's a revolution. He's an ideal. He's a great foil to Batman because he's the epitome of chaos. And it's interesting to see where chaos started. You can clearly see, and I like how the film director appears to be setting it up, is this movement has started without having a central figure. It's just people pissed off and tired of the way things are in Gotham, which has always been part of Gotham's character, because Gotham is a character. The city itself is what creates Batman. I mean, the city is a living,
Yeah,
breathing character.
yeah, and the behavior of the city is what sets up a lot of the story arcs as well. And I think I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think when he gets introduced on stage by Robert De Niro, when he finally comes out, I think he's going to do one of those classic Joker type things where, you know, like the audience gets gassed or whatever. I mean, it's probably not going to be that simple, but I feel like that's going to be the setup for his big reveal as the Joker, and also his first evil act, I guess you would say.
Yes, and I think that it is more compelling to see um, the sort of genesis into what would create the most malevolent character. Um, Joker is iconic because he is always been the complete opposite of what Batman is. And make no mistake, I don't give a shit what people say. Batman is on that line. Like, Batman, despite what people have said, and we've had this argument many times, Batman has indirectly or in some way, shape, or form killed people when he's had to. He's the only superhero who's done that. Now, as we've argued and PD has stated, yes, maybe he hasn't physically pushed anyone or anything like that, but by extension of some action he's taken has led to someone's death.
Yeah.
Joker very directly kills people and wants Batman to acknowledge that he's capable and has the capability of killing people. And that's their whole battle. And it's interesting to see if, like, hey, Joker was just a normal everyday schmo who got kicked around and then finally said enough is enough. And it also raises an interesting question. Does that really make him a bad guy when you really think about who the Joker is? He's anyone. He's just anyone. I think the Killing Joke said it the best. That Joker said it the best when he said, I want to prove that anyone can just snap off of one bad day. And it's true. Anyone could have one bad day and just go fucking nuts. And that's what makes the Joker so compelling to me.
Yeah, definitely. I think this version of it is going to be very, very relatable. I mean, the other versions of Joker are relatable as well, but for that reason that you just said, it's that everyone can relate to someone who's had enough, if you know what I mean, or is just going to snap. But I think this will be even more relatable in this version because it's showing that before, instead of picking it right up where he's already the Joker, showing up his lead into it and how he spirals down out of control to being completely chaotic, will make him even more relatable, I think. You know, you see him getting smashed with the sign and punched in the face and laughed at and all that kind of stuff. All of those little elements along the way are all things that will make him more relatable.
Exactly. I think I honestly, and I'm just going to throw it in here, I've got high hopes, but I think that this could be an awards contender um, with this kind of acting. Now, you got Tom Hanks coming out and playing fucking Mr. Rogers. And, you know, I don't think any movie that is going to be going up for awards is going to have a shot against that just from the trailer I seen from that movie. But I mean, this could be a pretty strong contender. This could be like if they, I got high hopes if they really film this well. This could be the movie that puts comic book movies in award contenderships because they have a actor who's been there, who's well known, and who's in the award circuits. It does a lot of independent work, and I think that that's good because that's the kind of juice a movie like this needs. I mean, this could elevate DC to go in a direction where they're making more grounded, gritty films that people want to see. Because, I mean, Marvel's losing its charm. I mean, quickly.
Very, very quickly, and it's obviously that's got a fair bit to do with Disney. But if DC is smart, they will make more movies like this. I mean, okay, I'm yet to see it, so it could be a piece of shit. Let's be honest, it could be, but it doesn't look like that. It looks like they've got the right look for the movie. They've got the right actor. He's going to be fantastic. The music, I'm assuming, is going to be pretty good from what we've seen. So they've got all the elements there, and obviously they've got the character himself, but they've got all of those elements there. So to me, all they really need to make sure they nail is getting the story right and getting the actual production of it right. So the editing and all that stuff right. And they'll have an absolute winner for sure.
I mean, I think that it'll be interesting. I think it'll be even interesting to see how exactly they end the film, because maybe they premiere this and it's a hit. Joaquin has stated that he wants to do a one-off, and he's older, but it's not to say that his Joker couldn't make a reappearance if they decide not to kill him, or if they do something where they like lock him up.
Yeah, well, I think I'd be quite happy for them to leave it open, whether he does another movie or not. Because then, I mean, we know that there was other movies with Joker and, all that kind of stuff. So if this is the origin story, I'm quite happy for them to leave the ending open in a certain way. Closure for the film, I suppose. But say if he's still left standing in some capacity, or whether he's in a mental hospital, who knows what that might be. But I'm okay with it being open-ended, even if he's not going to do a sequel. Just as long as the meat of the movie itself is done really well, which I think it will be. I mean, it looks pretty good. Then I'll be happy.
Yeah, so I mean, good stuff. I'm glad to actually have some good news that's circulating from the DC end, because God, we need a win. We need a win for more than animation. Like, no one's touching DC side of animation. I would argue that the DC streaming service, which you can get for $7.49, and a free month trial.
No shilling.
no shilling. Just saying. Go check out DC Universe. You're doing great things. Titan season 2. Check out the trailer. They got Superboy and Crypto. Just saying. And Deadshot was revealed. Yeah, I think that DC could be a contender if they stick with this route and they decide to like stay the course. Don't try to do Marvel, okay? Marvel made it work for them. You're DC.
Yeah. Well, yeah, lessons learned. I mean, Batman versus Superman and Justice League were attempts at the Marvel style of movie, and they just rushed it and didn't have the character backstories to make it work. So I think you're right, and I think when I saw this trailer, the first trailer come out, that was my initial thought, was like, thank fuck DC are doing something like this and not doing the same sort of thing, or trying to do the same thing as Marvel, because Marvel are good at it. DC have failed so far, except for Wonder Woman. So yeah, this more original kind of feel and it actually, the tone of it looks more like an indie movie, which is kind of cool. I think it's getting it that much more gritty feel, like you said before, and yeah, I think with Joaquin Phoenix, has got every chance of winning an award of some sort.
And at Zod, will I get to see it early? There is actually a good chance. Marcus is doing a thing I've entered in. It's a contest, so fingers crossed. And I'm only contending with a few coworkers. I might get an early screening of the movie before it is released to the general public. So this time I'm actually competing with some people. I might be gone because, people mysteriously disappeared. Disclaimer.
Yeah, that'd be cool to get to go and see it early.
Yeah. Because it's appearing at a bunch of film festivals and things like that, if I was to win, I'd actually get to go to a set film festival and participate in the screening. So,
well, if you keep shilling for Jeremy Jahns hard enough, maybe you'll get to go to one of his screenings with him.
We like that, Jeremy, come on, man, hook a brother up. I love your channel. Just saying, check out Jeremy Jahns. Gives the best reviews on YouTube. Style's kind of like mine.
just as many subscribers as well.
Yep. Cyber, welcome. I still have not found the cricket. I blame a certain unicorn because it was silent all night, and then she snapped her fingers, and it must have thought there was another fucking cricket, and now it's sending an SOS. I don't know.
There's the same cricket.
Yep,
Is
same
this the same
cricket.
one as last night? Oh shit!
This fucker has been going strong.
It's really loud, isn't it?
Yeah, and really I don't know what it's eating. They eat grass and stuff.
Is it sitting next to a megaphone or something?
No,
it's making it louder. It's bloody loud.
My dojo echoes, so when it does its thing,
yeah.
I think it's in the rafters. You could hear the echo. This little fucker's got a place. I can't find
It's pretty funny, but it's probably not like the background you want to your channel. You know what I mean? Like, hey everybody, come on over. It's all exciting over here, and then you just hear cricket.
This is such an exciting channel. Come join the channel, and then. Yes, Tommy, I should appropriate that cricket.
You should acquire it. Give it its own avatar. Get it on the show.
You're like, so what do you think of this? Well, guys, quite frankly, I did not like the
trailer. Or actually, we can use this to our advantage because anytime there's something that we find boring, we can both just be silent. So, you can say like, what do you think of The Rise of Skywalker? That works perfectly.
That works perfectly. During my review with LB, we're just gonna be like, hold on, LB. What do we think of Rise of Skywalker? Exactly.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
Cyber says, Zod, where do you live? I will kill the cricket. I believe you. You're a cybernetic dog. I mean, you could probably jump really high. Yeah, he has no chance. So that was the trailer for the Joker. Big things. I want to screen share a trailer for a particular show. Welcome, Wicked and Friends Parody Bizarro Productions. I won't kill Wicked. So we have another trailer that was a surprise trailer for myself, and this is for a Netflix thing. And it says the trailer for Netflix star-studded The Laundromat. It's by Steven Soderbergh, who's a pretty good director, and it stars Meryl Streep, Gary Oldman, and Antonio Banderas. So, I mean,
Cool.
yeah,
Can we get Selma Hayek as well?
that would be a hell of a cast. So we got some lawyers. It looks like Antonio Banderas and Gary Oldman play a lawyer. Do you think this is a fairy tale or could actually happen? We've got crazy Meryl Streep, but I'm liking her these days, and what she has to say about the SJW is hilarious. And I mean, yeah, he did Ocean's 11, The Informant. Look, oh my God, let me pause that and go back for a second. Is that no?
It's Ross.
Oh my God, we haven't seen Ross in so long.
Pardon the pun, but I didn't realize he was still swimming. I thought he drowned by now.
David Schwimmer, oh my God, dude, this guy gets around. I'll give it to him for having what Band of Brothers and Friends for his credits. I mean, he's made a nice little career.
Well, he
Jeffrey
was
Wright,
pretty good in Band of Brothers as a douchebag.
Sharon Stone. Oh my God, like this is a hell of a cast.
Jesus.
And this looks like it has to do with businesses and they're swindling money. Now, the thing that worries me about this is the general direction that I've seen Netflix go into, which is the fact that they do they've gotten into a lot of the political stuff with what they're doing. I'm very afraid that this will be a very left-leaning kind of film, especially when you're talking about lawyers taking money. It looks like, you know, some innocent people were being swindled for their funds. I don't know exactly what this movie is about. Let me see if I can look up an article, but just from that, what do you think of the film?
Well, I mean, it's got a good cast. I mean, did we see when it was set? Because it looks like 70s or 80s it was set.
Yeah, it looks about it.
It's got a very like a pale tone to it, almost like it's, you know, it doesn't have a high saturation at all. So it's like, yeah, very pale looking. But the cast, and it really depends on the story. Couldn't tell much of the story from that, but there's not, with all those actors together, if they've got a decent script, then it's going to be good, I'm sure.
Well, let me screen share here, and I'm going to read an article from our favorite people from IndieWire. This could be a hit or miss article. Oh my goodness. Every time we read an article and it's got kind of a tinge to it, it's this Zach guy. Every time. Is this the only guy who works for IndieWire? And I see him, his stupid look, and his stupid Twitter handle every time I go to an IndieWire article.
I think so.
It's the
sorry, dude. I gotta go. I just gotta do something real quick. I'll be back in 2 secs.
Okay.
Sorry.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna read this article for you folks. The Laundromat trailers. Soderbergh directs Meryl Streep in Netflix wild look at Panama Papers. Gary Oldman, Antonio Banderas co-star in Soderbergh's Venice Film Festival competitor. In case you guys don't know, Venice Film Festival is a very big film festival, and everyone who thought parents Stevens, Soderbergh, and Meryl Streep would result in a dramatic punch, especially with them tackling the weighty Panama Papers scandal, will surely be shocked by the first trailer of The Laundromat. Netflix has debuted the first look at Soderbergh's latest, and its freewheeling explosion, complete with fourth wall breaking and comedic pizzazz. That's more in line with Soderbergh's Logan Lucky and The Informant, then his awards heavyweights Traffic and Eric Brockovich. The Laundromat stars Meryl Streep as a widow who is cheated out of money and decides to investigate what led to her insurance fraud. The character's chase leads to a pair of Panama City law partners who are exploiting the world's financial system. The lawyers are played with vivacious energy by Oscar winner Gary Oldman and Antonio Banderas. The sprawling ensemble cast also includes David Schwimmer, Sharon Stone, Jeffrey Wright, Madison, I can't say that last name, and Melissa Ranch, among others. That The Laundromat feels like a successor to Soderbergh, The Informant. The Informant was a pretty good movie. It makes sense considering both films share screenwriter Scott Z. Burns. The writer has his own directorial effort opening this fall, The Report, which Soderbergh produced. Burns wrote the screenplay, Soderbergh's Contagion, and Side Effects. The Laundromat is world premiering in competition at 2019 Venice Film Festival. Netflix also has Neo Baumbach's Marriage Story competing at the prestigious festival, while their Shakespearean epic The King will debut out of competition. Following its Venice debut, The Laundromat will go to screen at the Toronto International Film Festival. Streep most recently shared in the second season of HBO's Big Little Lies. The Oscar winner clearly loved her time working with Soderbergh, as the two have already announced plans to reunite in an upcoming HBO Max original movie, Let Them All Talk. The Laundromat marks Soderbergh's second Netflix original film of 2019 after the sports drama High Flying Bird launched on the streaming platform in January. The Laundromat will open in select theaters September 27th before an October 18th streaming debut. Watch the official trailer below. So, everybody who's, yes, I know, the cricket. Welcome, Slasher. Welcome, Mega Jetty. Yes, that's the cricket. It's back. It took the night off, but now it's come back to torture me. Welcome. We are talking about this new film from Netflix. It is called The Laundromat. It is made by Soderbergh. If you don't know what he's done The Informant. He worked on The Contagion, a couple of other pretty big films. It has Meryl Streep and Gary Oldman, Antonio Banderas, David Schwimmer. It looks like a pretty good movie. So, everybody, hit up the chat and tell me what you think just looking off the trailer and hearing the article. Does this look like a good movie to see? Or how interested are you in this particular film? And shut up there. No one asked you. God. Freaking crickets. Butterfinger, I don't know if Streep gets naked. I don't know if I really want to see that. That would terrify me. Let me see. Super chat from Mega Jerry. All I'm hearing is the sound of an empty audience. Mic drop. Oh, man. That is brutal. Uninterested, yes. This looks like one of those films that is strictly for awards. I know that the Panama Papers was a thing. Tommy. Oh, that's hilarious. So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty intriguing. I don't know. I really would have to take a look at it. I do every now and again like art-filled movies. I like Gary Oldman. I would see this movie for Gary Oldman. I don't know necessarily as much for Meryl Streep. She's a little bit crazy. I do like what she said about the SJWs though. So every once in a while she says some stuff that makes sense. But for the most part, you know, she's pretty out there. And I'm just catching up with the chat because on the YouTube end, there seems to be a lot more stuff going on here. Okay, super chat. Anyone in here love pizza? I love pizza. You have a naked picture of Gary Oldman? Geekicidal tendencies. Why? I mean, I respect him as an actor, but good God, man, that is just, oh, no, that's wrong on so many levels. Butterfingers, I do agree. It seems to take a satirical look at that situation. If you watch The Informant, it does have a very fun spin to it, although it gets dark. It's very dark humor that Soderbergh does. So, Mega Jetty, that's hilarious. I've heard the cricket joke, man. That is definitely some funny stuff though. I knew when the cricket came back there was going to be a lot of jokes about that. So let me move on here. I'm going to screen share with you guys something that's been floating around in the internet. I don't know any pizza places I could give you over here, but no, Tommy, I don't like sausage picks. Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys an article. If you've been following YouTube, there's been a lot of people talking about Dave Chappelle. And anytime that a comedian gets bashed, I always feel as if it's a comedy special worth watching. So I'm going to take you guys to an article here. It says, and this is from foxnews.com, Dave Chappelle says he doesn't believe Michael Jackson abused accuser, defends Louis C.K. in a new Netflix special. And anyone who watches Dave Chappelle knows he's been an edgy comedian god since the Chappelle show. And I believe that was like in the 90s. Dave Chappelle is one of the last comedians to me who is still edgy and just doesn't give a damn about what other people have to say about him. So I'm going to read this to you guys. He's been taking some hits in the media, and it says comedian Dave Chappelle addresses the so-called cancel culture, which is great. We talk about this all the time. During his Netflix stand-up comedy released Monday, where he claims celebrities like Michael Jackson, Louis C.K., and Kevin Hart have all been victims. True. They ridiculed and bashed Kevin Hart for a joke he said like years ago. And I'm glad someone has the balls to call these people out on their ridiculousness. You know, Chappelle disappeared from the scenes for quite a bit. And, you know, he's taken his time, and I think he's at a stage where he really doesn't care about what other people think. So, oh my goodness, my screen just went white. There we go. So, Um, they have all been victims to varying degrees of today's celebrity hunting season. This is the worst time ever to be a celebrity, Chappelle said in the special Sticks and Stones, which is the comedian's fifth special in the past 2 years. You're going to be finished. Everyone's doomed, he added. The comedian waded into sensitive topics, including allegations of rape and molestation by alleged victims who have recently stepped forward. Dave Chappelle to host benefit concert for Iowa shooting. Chappelle tried to make light of the allegations against Michael Jackson by pointing out that pop culture icon has been dead for 10 years and still faces new child abuse allegations. I don't believe these motherfuckers. I don't think he did it. Did you know what? But you know what? Even if he did do it, you know what I mean? I mean, it's Michael Jackson, Chappelle jokes. The 46-year-old comedian also uh, insinuated that Jackson's alleged child victims must have enjoyed being sexually assaulted since Jackson was saying, you know how good it must have felt to go to school the next day after that shit. There has renewed interest in the allegation against Jackson after the HBO release its popular documentary Living in Neverland, in which accusers Wade Robinson and James Safechuck alleged that the late singer sexually molested them when they were young boys in the 80s and 90s. Chappelle then switched gears to say he does believe the allegations against R. Kelly because the R&B singer is known for both his music career and his sex tapes. In July, Kelly, 52, was arrested in Illinois on several charges, including child pornography, after prosecutors in several states accused him of using his fame to recruit young women and girls into illegal sexual activities. The guy makes more sex tapes than he does music. He's like the DJ Khaled of sex tapes, Chappelle said before calling out DJ Khaled's famous slogan, another one. Chappelle defended comedian Louis C.K., who allegedly masturbated in front of the female comedians, joking, Louis C.K. was a very good friend of mine before he died in that terrible masturbation accident. He also went to bat for poor Kevin Hart, who lost his dream Oscar hosting gig after old tweets resurfaced in which the stand-up star used language considered to be homophobic. I don't know what you know about Kevin, but I know that Kevin Hart is damn near perfect. Chappelle said, according to the Hollywood Reporter, as close to perfect as anyone I've ever seen. In fact, Kevin is precisely 4 tweets shy from being perfect. A representative for Chappelle told Fox News that mere excerpts from the special shouldn't be taken out of context. Most of the press doesn't get it, the representative for the comedian said. Kevin Fallon from the Daily Beast gets it. The representative was referencing an article in which the writer explains that Chappelle is aware of the controversy he's courting with his words and does so purposely with the goal of making the viewer question their instincts to cancel someone over their words. Viewers of Sticks and Stones share a mixed bag of reactions on social media, with some cringing at the content. Does Dave Chappelle tell jokes anymore, or just him spouting unpopular opinions? Yep, looks about right. I don't even know who this is. People think there are bad reviews of Dave Chappelle's stand-up is because they're triggered and not because it's just honestly not funny. Dave Chappelle's kinda trash, isn't he? Laughed once cringed like 20 times. Politics aside, it's all just stupid identity jokes, and ugh, I hate when people don't like bad things. Ugh. However, despite the handful of people who seem to be upset about the topics covered in Chappelle's special, a majority of Twitter users were quick to take to the platform to defend the comedian's shock value humor. Dave Chappelle is making fun of cancel culture and basically saying, "Come and get me, you miserable fucks. I'm going to give you all the ammo." I loved every minute of it. So that's a smart user. Dave Chappelle's entire career was built on offensive. For those of you that hate to watch it, exactly what type of content were you expecting from him? Very true. Please don't watch Dave Chappelle if you're easily offended. Someone else quit. So I think that this is great. Yeah, I think that this is great. Dave Chappelle has always been an edgy comedian. And I think that in this Me Too culture that we have, um, Dave Chappelle is the guy who is still putting out jokes he wants to make. Look, Dave Chappelle stepped out of the spotlight for years. I mean, the man was a consummate worker. He was hitting the road very tough, very, very hard, and it got to him mentally. And I think that it's great that he comes out and he really doesn't care what people have to say. He does his comedy, and you know what? If you like it, then go ahead and watch it. And if you don't, then you don't have to. Thank you, Butterfingers. Chappelle is, the kind of guy who is always been trending the line between offensive and not. I mean, if you look at his older comedy, a lot of the stuff that he was doing it before any other comedians, or really kind of after the Eddie Murphys and things like that. He brought back that offensive comedy. And, look at everyone who followed after him. We had Keenan and Peele, and we had all sorts of other comedians who followed after the Chappelle show was canceled. And I think that it's hilarious that in this culture we have now, everyone is losing their mind over this comedy special. What they did to Louis C.K. was horrible. What they've done to Kevin Hart was horrible. And the fact that they're attacking Michael Jackson 10 years after he's dead is ridiculous. I think that it is awesome that someone is willing to stand up and say, you know what? Who gives a damn? Quit your bitching. And, if you want to come after me, then go ahead. I mean, Chappelle's got tons of money. I don't think he really cares at this point. He's just relaxing and, letting the people say what they will. And if they don't like it, then fuck them. And I think that's a good approach to it. So, I'm glad to see that we still have a comedian who's ballsy. And you're right, Tommy. The super chat from Megajetty. He says, I like the scene in a Dave Chappelle movie where a guy yells, "Boo this man, boo." And you're right, Tommy. They love beating a dead horse. All these people, when someone comes out with something that's unpopular for this time, or it's a little sensitive, they get up in arms. This is what comedians have been doing since I was a kid. Since the 80s and the 90s, comedians' jobs have been centered around pushing the envelope of being funny. I mean, Robin Williams did it. Belushi's did it. Saturday Night Live used to do it. And they used to be funny. That was part of the charm of comedy. And now it's become so watered down and one-dimensional and just people swearing just for the sake of swearing and no context or substance or relevance to anything that's going on. A good comedian makes fun of relevant topics. You watch comedy to escape what's going on in the media. And these SJWs don't like escapism. They like bitching and complaining. Yep, I agree, Slasher. Andrew Dice Clay was one of the most edgy comics of the times. And Andrew Dice Clay used to say some very obscene, like, even by the standards of today, pretty edgy stuff. And, you take one of his jokes and put it in now, people would lose their mind. They would just absolutely, positively wouldn't know what to do. So, I mean, I find it all kind of ridiculous. So, it is what it is. This is just all ridiculous stuff that, the media is going to spin one way. I've read some other articles. They're talking about how Chappelle is out of touch with the modern culture and how he's offending people, and it's out of place to make jokes about sexual abuse and all of this stuff. And it's like, no, if you watch the comedy special, he's pointing out the ridiculousness of people just blindly believing people, and the culture of calling for people to be canceled based off of allegations with no real facts. Welcome, Cyber. How are you?
I'm all right.
So what do you think of this Dave Chappelle article?
I gotta watch that special.
Right? I actually
Probably in
got
a
to
few
check it
weeks
out.
though. Probably in a few weeks though, because family shares the Netflix thing because it's cheap, but we haven't renewed it.
So I mean, Cyber, I was just kind of bantering to myself and to the audience as I can do, but it's always good to have banter back and forth. And I was talking about this speaks to the SJW culture that we have, where I've read this article that was just telling about his special, right? Which I got to give Fox credit. It covered what it's about. Some of the people outraged, and then some of the people who are with Dave Chappelle, and that's it. A lot of these articles, one I read said, Dave Chappelle out of touch with modern culture in his horrible comedy special or something like that. And it's just like, no, you guys are out of touch. You're out of touch with what comedy is.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't seen it yet, but people have shared clips and stuff. And I'm not going to say the word because he'll probably get in trouble. But he's comparing to how, N-word to faggot, and how he can't say faggot, but he can say the other word.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw that skit. I'm like, I gotta see the rest of this. Good. Sit around with a couple family members, have a good laugh.
Exactly, and that's what's missing, is that people are taking the teeth away from comedy. Comedy's supposed to have a bite, but it's not supposed to be like what Amy Schumer was doing, that derogatory.
No, it's got to be like George Carlin. I mean, you can even do a little more family-friendly stuff and non-political stuff like Fluffy.
Yeah, I mean, what makes comedy, what's always made comedy good is that, who's a rogue mod? What? Who deleted? It's probably that goddamn bot. Tommy, I apologize if some of your stuff gets deleted. I've got a rogue nightbot thing that comes and scrubs certain comments. I apologize for that. But yeah, it's really telling of the way our culture is. I think this comedy special really highlights what he's talking about. That's the irony. The irony that the SJWs don't understand, and what these idiots that are bashing him don't understand is that they're playing right into what his comedy is about. And it's the cancel mentality. It's the attack people for having a difference of opinions mentality. It's okay to say one word, but you can't say another word. That's the whole point of what he's saying. And these idiots are just proving the point of his comedy. It's amazing.
Something that's funny is everyone was praising him because he hosted SNL after the election, and he did a good job of just trying to unite everyone and not really focus too much on that. And I even watched it; it was good. It was SNL. He was trying to, at that moment, he knew how to unite, and everybody was praising him for that. And then he comes and he does this because he's speaking his mind. And he's doing his own stand-up. There's a lot of comedians and people out there that know sometimes elections can be iffy. All the time. Especially that last one. That one was ugly and I hate thinking about it. But he managed to, let's do this. And to me, a lot of times comedy, music, movies, all this stuff is always an escape from that outside world.
Exactly. We talk about this quite frequently here in the channel. Welcome back, Stevie. Glad the dingoes didn't get you.
Yeah, sorry.
The dog came in to rescue us because we were hearing crickets.
You always need a good dog. How are you, Husky?
I'm all right.
Super chat, Mega Jetty. I don't know why Tommy's comments are being deleted. I'm seeing them on here. There's a rogue Nightbot that I've got to track down.
Delete, just disable Nightbot. Go into the settings and disable it.
Yeah, the Nightbot has gone rogue. Butterfingers put, Zod, you have a rogue mod. This is the fandom zone. Everything's fucking rogue here.
So what did you guys talk about? What have you been talking about?
It all says no wait, hold on. It says that all the messages were deleted by the Senate. The Senate.
Oh, has the Senate gone rogue?
The Senate's also on Thomas's stream, I think, currently right now, watching. I don't know if he did that to troll or what. Seriously, it'll tell you. And there's Thomas right now. I'm pretty sure it's the Senate trolling.
Hey, Thomas. Good to see you on my stream. We're talking, in case you just jumped in, and for Stevie, we're talking about Dave Chappelle and how his show has sparked controversy. But it's funny because these SJW idiots are playing into what the point of the show is about. And the name of the comedy is Sticks and Stones, which I think is very appropriate. Yeah.
Great name.
Yeah,
Great
that's
name.
the first name. Knowing that name is like, okay, he's gonna say shit.
And
piss people off.
And his opener is that he's talking about how he thinks Michael Jackson is innocent. So already you got motherfuckers coming out going, oh, this son of a bitch, right? And then he's talking about how we have a cancel culture when like anything comes out and automatically people are calling to cancel it. And if we relate this, Stevie, to what we've been talking about boycotting culture, which is basically the same thing.
Yeah.
And he's talking about like when something comes out, immediately you got people before they get evidence, before they get anything, they cancel this person, don't watch their stuff. He says a line where he says, right now is a horrible time to be a celebrity. And I'm just sitting here laughing because he's the only one I've seen who has the balls to come out and say, hey, it sucks to be us, People are attacking us. He's talked about the Kevin Hart thing at the Oscars and how it's okay for him to use the N-word. But when Kevin Hart says faggot, all of a sudden people get up in arms and they don't want him to host the Oscars. And it was from like 10 years ago. And he's just blasting all of these people. And you had
That's
Fox
the thing, though,
with
too.
that.
Look at the celebrity culture. It doesn't matter like which side they are politically or whatever. People keep trying to shut them down and can't say, "Oh, they're canceled." It's just everyone. It's all of them. It's like,
Well, it's the same
it
thing I
goes.
keep
It
saying.
goes to celebrities. It goes to high-profile YouTubers.
It's the same thing I
It's like-
keep saying about all this rubbish. Is if you don't like what somebody's saying on TV or on a show or on a movie or whatever, you have the right not to watch it.
And that's what he says during his special. That's the funny part, is that these people who are offended they're coming in and they're attacking him, but they're making his point as they're writing these articles and stuff. And knowing how Dave is, he's probably sitting back laughing, going, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's like him saying,
absolutely.
It's like him saying, this is my opinion, come at me. I mean, and really, what does he have to lose? The man's got a lot of money. He stepped away and went to freaking Africa and came back. Clearly.
He's a very clever person, and he's also a really funny motherfucker as well. I mean, but this whole thing, like Sticks and Stones, is a perfect name for it, because comedy has always been about making fun of things that are inappropriate and making jokes that are inappropriate, because that's why you can laugh about it, because it's so ridiculous and so inappropriate, and it's talking about real life things a lot of the time that are funny to laugh at. I mean, okay, you might say that rape jokes are crossing the line and stuff like that, but it's it's coming from a place of having to laugh about it to try and feel some sense of levity and actually be happy, not be sad all the time.
Yeah, exactly. This is what comedians do. And this is the biggest thing that's been hurting comedy. And I think once before we talked about this, about how comedy is being castrated. And this is a perfect example of why more comedians don't do it. A guy like Dave Chappelle, he's been in and out of the media. If he dropped out of the public spotlight, I don't think he'd care one bit. And that's why he can come out brazen like he does, because he doesn't care.
Yeah, he is a guy that definitely fades in and out and goes in and out of the spotlight. But he only cares that he pretty much cares about the people that care about his stuff.
Exactly.
Okay. There's a lot of artists out there that don't give a shit about what the media and what the masses say. If they made their fans happy, that is all they care about.
Now look,
Did you guys ever read any of the reviews for Motley Crue's The Dirt? And everybody knows, everybody knows how Motley Crue is. Well, they were in the 80s.
Yeah.
And people were offended. There's people offended by that. What was funnier is people were saying that and trying to go after them on Twitter, and it's just some of the Tommy Lee. He's really loud with like everything, even if you see his political stuff. I'm serious. And then Nikki Sixx was like say things in more of a passive aggressive, sarcastic kind of way. It was really kind of funny to watch them. Just say screw you in some of the weirdest polite or not so obvious ways. That was kind of fun when that movie came out. And then, they also were showing how some of these people said these reviews, and it was like, different time. This is what we did back then. And we've moved on. Because they've all moved on.
Exactly.
But it's entertainment at the end of the day. So, like, if there's fans for it, it's going to be commercially driven, isn't it? If there's fans for it who are going to pay money for it, then it will get airtime. And if there's fans for it, then that must mean it's not that big a deal. It'd be different if, let's say, Dave Chappelle or some other comedian was on a stage and a political standpoint preaching about, and I'm not saying telling jokes, I'm saying actually preaching to the masses about how they should do all these awful things, similar to what they joke about in their comedy routines. Of course, that would be different. If Donald Trump got up there and started talking about, rape and all this other stuff in a serious tone, of course that would be ridiculous. But this is entertainment and it's a joke. Everybody who goes to see it or watches it on TV knows that it's a joke and either laughs at it and finds it entertaining or should just switch it off and forget about it because
Here's
it's
a
not
great
really
saying.
affecting anyone.
This is something my brother said to me for years, and apparently I found out some people get offended by it. It's a joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard. It's
that's
Yep.
I've heard that one. Strangely,
Yeah.
I've
Yep.
heard that saying before.
It's a great comeback though, and it's a great explanation.
It's hilarious. But it's like I think it was Christopher Hitchens also said that offense can't be given; it can only be taken. So you can't be offensive to someone; they can only take something offensively.
Yeah, and
Like someone could say the most ridiculous, demeaning, mean thing to me, and I have the power to say "fuck off"
yeah,
and not let it affect me.
exactly. And that's the great thing that I love about this and how it just highlights everything that we talk about or any other YouTube channel might touch on when it comes to our medias is that we are highlighting what these people are taking so offensively. And we're also highlighting the fact that people can dislike something, but point out what you dislike about it. The comments I heard is, "Oh, Dave Chappelle is offensive. How could he say that? He's a comedian, people. Were you not around in the 80s or 90s? Did you not see the Richard Pryors, the Eddie Murphys? I mean, this is their shtick. Carlos Mancina, Chris Rock. I mean, all of these
George
guys,
Carlin as well.
George Carlin, Andrew Dice Clay, any of these guys built their fame on pissing people off and saying the unpopular thing. That's what comedy was. It wasn't these stupid political jokes and this boring stuff. And I'm sorry, this is probably going to offend females, but female comedians are god awful. I've seen very few funny female comedians because who wants to hear about the shit that Amy Schumer's talking about?
There's a couple that can still be funny. Ellen can still be funny.
Well, but Ellen doesn't go into that forte. She talks about real world stuff that's hilarious.
And I think the other one is like her name is. There was one my brother said it was bad, but a lot of times it's like Eliza. I can't pronounce her last name. I can't pronounce her last name.
Mega Jetty 1 does have a good point. He super chatted. He said, I try to be my unusual offensive self, but I also try to be sensitive to other people's feelings. I'm a balancing act. SJWs have no balance. Mega Jetty, I would counter with, I am brazen and don't give a shit about other people's feelings. But that's just me and I make it work. Everyone's got their style. The problem is when people try to conform and be something that they're not. If your style is who you are, and if your style is pointing out nonsense and maybe in an offensive way, and that's who you are as a person, you shouldn't have to shelter yourself or tone yourself down because you might hurt someone's feces. Okay? It's ridiculous.
Well, I think you're right. And I think, I look at it this way. In my opinion, everyone should be able to say whatever they want. Absolutely whatever the fuck they want. But I look at it this way. If there was two, say, performers on the street, right? And one was saying the most offensive stuff in the world, and it was just like, whoa, just wild stuff. And the other one was just saying everything all, politically correct and everything like that. Both of them would have an audience, wouldn't they? There'd be certain people that go to one and certain people that go to another.
True.
So if you are not part of the opposite audience, then just don't worry about it. Don't let it bother you. Just go and see the other performer. But don't try and tell one performer to shut up. That's what I have a problem with.
There's a thing that everybody needs to do, and it's a great thing. Everybody needs to learn how to laugh at themselves every once in a while.
Oh, absolutely.
It builds character. I mean, hell, there was a SpongeBob episode on that.
Yeah, SpongeBob spoke true.
Yeah, and he was he was a comedian in that episode. It showed you gotta laugh at yourself.
I would laugh at myself, but I'm not funny.
Oh, Stevie, you're plenty funny, buddy.
I laugh at myself when I look at the mirror.
I mean, but you're an awesome looking dog, so I mean, everyone loves huskies. Just saying.
Do you want to hear something funny? Actually, just
sure.
Well, last night, right, I got this phone call from my sister, and she's like, "Can you help me? My car's broken down. It won't start. Blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay. I've just finished work. This is super frustrating, but yes, I will come and help you." So I go to find where she is, and of course, her car is in the car park with the battery, facing away from the driveway, kind of thing. So got to muck around trying to get my car next to hers, all that. So I get the jumper leads on, blah, blah, get it started. And I say to her, leave your car running for like half an hour, 45 minutes to charge your battery up again. Just make sure you do that. No worries. So we're in a car park, right? At like a shopping center. Anyway, I get in my car to drive off, thinking finally my fucking day is done. Get back in the car, about to drive off, and she knocks on my window and she goes, I've just turned my car off. And I'm like, motherfucker, you did fucking what? I just told you to fucking leave it running. She literally drove 2 meters, parked in another car spot, and then turned it off. I'm like, fuck. Damn you.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, that was just my frustration yesterday.
We have a super chat from Mega Jetty One who says, "Okay, that's a great point. I don't want to offend people, but if I see bullshit, I'm calling it out, even if people are offended by it. I'm allergic to bullshit. At you."
Yeah.
He's also allergic to crickets.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. I think that's the biggest problem I have with all this stuff is, is there some truth in some of it? I don't know, but it's so hard to wade through the bullshit to actually know what people's point of view is. It's just, there's so much crap that's centered around it. I mean, we talked about on Proper Jeremy's channel, I think it was, the nappies and the kids, the babies, how it was, someone came out and said it was abuse to change a baby's nappy without asking them. All that kind of ridiculous bullshit. It actually detracts from what their real message should be, like, which is just basically be a decent person. But then they throw all this other rubbish in there, and it just makes me want to throw the rest of it all out as well and just say, nah, if you're coming at me with that, you can fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. It's the soft culture that we got now. I still like that term snowflakes because these people. I mean, you were here when we read the article about cow molestation. I mean,
yes.
I mean, it's getting to a point where this culture is becoming so ridiculous in how they approach things. It's just like, come on, it's Netflix. You got thousands, literally thousands of things. You can't get through Netflix content. I've tried. It's impossible. Okay? So you're telling me You see Dave Chappelle. You play the first 5 minutes past the intro, you're going to know whether or not it's for you. And then you go, oh, this guy's kind of offending me. Kind of move on. It's simple as that. It used to be that back in the day. Now we just got these whiny bitches who just want to be like, oh my God, they said this. What do you mean? Michael Jackson was proven. No, they didn't prove any of these. That was the point of the skit. Just like with Louis C.K., that whole thing was ridiculous. And look, I don't like Louis C.K. I've watched his comedy. It's not for me. But do I think that the man should have been attacked for things that weren't proven? No. Those allegations still aren't proven to this day. And
he lost his role in The Secret Life of Pets as playing the main dog. I think because of that.
And it's ridiculous. I mean, it's like he says, like Chappelle says in his comedy, it's headhunting. That's what they're doing. They're looking for any little thing and they're hunting you down for it. They're doing it to YouTubers. They're doing it to people who write articles. They're doing it to movie reviewers. They're doing it to comedians and to actors and to everybody that they can possibly do it to. It makes it so that people in these fields don't want to provide us with entertainment anymore because they're scared. They're walking on eggshells because they're afraid some idiot's going to get a hair up their ass and start chasing them down about, a particular thing that they say. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I listened to this this interesting. I can't remember if it was a podcast or I was watching a video, but it was basically about the anatomy of jokes. I think it was, and the guy who did the video was basically, his premise was that every joke needs to have a victim. So whether that's the person telling the joke, you're making fun of yourself, or if it's making fun of somebody else, that every joke has to have a victim of some sort for it to be funny. And so, Dave Chappelle's a perfect example. Like, he's having to go at these people and those people and black people, white people, Asian people. Okay, so they're the victims of the jokes. But that's what makes it funny, because it has to have that victim. If you look at Amy Schumer in contrast, so, I mean, yes, she makes herself the victim, but the problem with her is that she makes 95% of her jokes about her vajayjay, and no one cares about that, and it's not funny.
Exactly.
So I've watched a lot of comedians, and they tell dick jokes, but they might tell one, maybe two in their whole set, and then they're done. But Amy Schumer literally did a whole Netflix show on her vagina, and it's just not funny.
Yeah, and it's like, one, I'm sorry to break it to you, Amy, you're not that good looking. Two, okay, if you're gonna build a whole set on that, even if you're a drop dead gorgeous supermodel, that might span out my attention. But if all your jokes are gonna be about that, I'm gonna be like, okay, let's move it along. What's the next joke? But two, you have to have some kind of substance. People like jokes, whether they know it or not. And we were talking about this with reviews earlier, Stevie. People like jokes that are making fun of stuff that is relevant to what is happening. Okay. What makes Dave Chappelle actually funny and people siding with him? Because he's talking about something relevant. And even though it splits the fan base, okay, between the idiots that actually fall into what he's talking about, being outraged because he's talking about them, or whether it's people like us who go, that's pretty relevant. That's exactly what people are doing. He's hitting a subject that is relevant to the culture and what's going on. And he's shining a light on it. And not only shining a light on it, but making fun of it. That's what a good comedian does. Not just sit here and go, the president sucks. My vajayjay.
Don't take comedians. And always don't take. You don't always have to take comedians seriously, unless and there's times you see comedians where they do get serious and they do talk about their personal things. A lot of times those are cut out of specials. Sometimes they're at the very end of specials, because they're added on at the end. But the whole stand-up is you don't have to take everything so seriously with them. It's meant for solely entertainment.
Exactly.
And
Well,
this is the part that is both funny and is sad about what this show represents and why it's got so much buzz, is the fact that that's exactly what he's talking about. It's the culture of over dramatizing everything. Pick up your pitchforks and your torches and burn this mother down because someone said something that doesn't line up with your opinion. Well, guess what? That's the world, people. That's the world. You know what really makes me upset is these people live in their little freaking safe bubble, okay? And they're talking about, oh my God, the cows, and oh my God, why are you making light of women's issues? And oh my God, Michael Jackson was a monster, okay? I side with Chappelle. If it comes out he did all of those things, it's 10 years and the man is dead. And he built a legacy on doing other things as well and creating great music, okay? So let's focus on that. You can't get your justice anymore, so why do you care? Why is it relevant now? Can't you just leave the man be? Just like with all of these other people. And he brought up a good point. No one's attacking R. Kelly. And look at the shit that's been proven with R. Kelly. They proved it. He's been arrested for it. And yet no one wants to touch that. And don't get me wrong, I have R. Kelly CDs. I like R. Kelly as a singer, but as a person, kind of a scumbag. And, it's hilarious. And someone shines light on this stupid hypocrisy, and now everyone's like, oh my God, they're talking about me. This guy is terrible. What has he done? Dude, Dave Chappelle has done more shit in 5 minutes of his life than any of you idiots will do in your lifetime, because you're too busy sitting on your keyboard, bitching and complaining, and go and cancel this show just because it doesn't line up with your stupid, weird beliefs. Screw you.
Yeah.
Screw all of you. I hate you all. And you know what? I can't wait till the day I get monetized so that I can get paid for mocking you dumbasses.
People need to realize this. And I realized it kind of at an early age. People are pieces of shit, and the world is just garbage, and everyone's a piece of trash. But there are people out there who try to show love, and that we should still love each other no matter what our differences are. And one of those people that said we should love each other no matter what our differences are or what we do or who we are was Fred Rogers.
Yeah, and that's going to be a strong contender.
And look, we had in the same generation that complains about all these people grew up with him, yet they can't share love with people that they completely disagree with. They
Exactly.
just try to hate them.
It's an asinine, silly view that these people take. It's like they're fighting this supposed hate with hate and bigotry and stuff. I was on Twitter and I had this really stupid, nonsensical argument with this idiot. I was tagged into this thread, and this dude was talking about how Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, he feeds into this hate culture. And the same old argument we hear with Star Wars, and how all of these guys are minions and mindless.
Is this the Firewater jackass?
Yeah, Firewater. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Because several months ago he was on the G&G Discord and he was bitching about the same stuff on there.
And Sean,
that's how I knew exactly who it was, because I even talked to Thomas about him person to person, because Thomas was like, "Oh, I haven't been on there in a while. How's it going?" I'm like, "Oh, this Firewater guy bitches all the time. Kind of ruins the mood of the server." That's kind of why I stopped talking in there for a while.
Yeah, and
here's the thing. I haven't seen him, and the day after I saw him, there's somebody else I've gotten along with on that server, which is, he goes by Hate Boner Jeremy. But he around the same time that he disappeared from the server, he became Hate Boner Jeremy became a mod. So I didn't ask him, but I think he probably put him in his place. Same with several people because they were getting tired of him. I'd even like talk about things and he wouldn't be in the chat and he'd just pop up and say shit. Come on.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here and I'm sitting back and I'm just watching the thread because you know how you get a million notifications at one time. And so I'm sitting here and I'm getting dinged, and then I'm reading some of the comments back and forth, and No Way is commenting back and forth with this guy, and he had a few typos, and this guy is basically calling him an idiot because he doesn't know how to spell or something like that. And I'm like, dude, do you know talk to text, or when you type something and it gets auto corrected, and then you send out the tweet and you're like, oh crap, that's not what I meant to say. You know, stuff like that happens.
He did the same shit on Discord. He'd make fun of people they typoed, even though they'd fix it.
So I came on and I started saying this comments that made sense, and he did not respond back to me once. I'm like, I said to him, I'm like, how can you sit here and talk about someone, and you, as well as anyone, knows about how when you do talk to text or when you type something out, sometimes it gets lost in translation or it gets said wrong. And I find it kind of funny that you're making fun of the outrage culture, yet you're sitting here taking time out of your day to reply to a thread that's talking about this, and you're just feeding into it. So by your argument, aren't you just keeping it going? If you don't want to hear about it, don't comment on the thread. It wasn't made for you.
There's another guy on the G&G server. I won't name him because he's fine and he doesn't need it. But I've noticed sometimes some of his ideas and stuff can be controversial, but people talk through it. And the reason why I say it's controversial because every time I look at the politics and religion, he's there. There's a lot of people talking in politics and religion, and I'm like, well, that's a bit. That's why I've kind of also distanced from the. I'm still on the server, but a lot of people keep talking politics and religion. I'm like, oh, I want to talk maybe a little Star Wars. Oh, nope. I'm like, oh no, I don't have much to talk about Star Wars because I've been feeling meh about it. So I just like post memes. There's a pets and music. There's a lot of little things on the GNG Discord that you can enjoy. But yeah, that guy isn't a piece of shit like Firewater was.
Yeah.
Or actually, it's.
And I had a back and forth, and then I just like stopped because I realized something that I realized when we're arguing with these people is that you're not going to get anywhere. It's like talking to a brick wall. So, I mean, I guess to kind of sum up this topic, people, be open-minded, all right? And I mean, and both sides can get that way. I mean, even I'm aligned with individuals, and you know, we can both get passionate about our disagreements, but remember, it is a chat. What up, Curtis? Good to see you. It's a chat. We should be level on both sides. And for God's sakes, if you don't like a comedian, don't watch him. Okay? If you don't like Dave Chappelle and you find his stuff distasteful, then there's simple. There's a little button on your thing. For me, it's the back button. You can just click off and bam, pick something new. Oh my God, it's revolutionary. You don't have to watch it, people. You can turn it off. Holy crap, I know. It's astonishing. There's a simple fix. It doesn't involve bitching and canceling the show. I know. Oh my God, we're going into uncharted territory. What do you think, Stevie, before we move on to the next riveting topic?
I think my brain's starting to melt from that logic that you were just talking.
I know, it's like some Ark of the Covenant stuff. I shouldn't be dropping wisdom this early.
I know. I just can't compute. You don't hear it these days anymore. So
I know. Switching the channel, stopping the program. I know we say crazy stuff in the fandom zone, but it's true. I mean,
oh yeah. It's like that, someone getting charged with assault for saying something on Twitter. It's like, Hello, just keep your thumb moving. Just keep your thumb moving. You don't have to, you know, they're not in the next room. It's okay, you know. Shit.
These Twitter, what we call them, these keyboard warriors, right? You know, they're just working their thumbs out constantly.
Yeah. Well, I could get a death threat from ISIS on my Twitter, and I'd be like, okay. So,
well, I've clearly pissed someone off in the Middle East. Hope this
yeah.
isn't gonna blow up in my face.
Is that because I threw those falafels in the bin? Like, what? Shit.
Oh, you know, if I ever get monetized, I'll be monetized for a day. And then YouTube would be like, oh my God, he mentioned ISIS, child molestation. Pull him!
It's kind of hard to hear me in some parts of my video I'm cap Friday, but I went on a freaking rant about a little bit of monetization and how it won't happen because I'm just cussing through that video. But I cuss a lot on my channel, and I'm pretty sure, oh yeah, YouTube won't monetize me because I swear. But it's like it's not child friendly. My audience isn't children. It's like young adults. And anyone older than that, people, who understand these words and just, want to have a fun time watching it.
And it's funny because I was talking to Thomas about this earlier, and Jeremy made a good point. You build a fan base, and we have like 9 or 10 people watching us. Sometimes we peak at 20, depending on the topic. And he says, it's about the people who watch you, which is a fair point. But here's my thing. I think that in this kind of format that we're in, if you're not in it to reach more people, then you don't have a goal in mind. And monetization for me isn't about making money at all. I own half of a martial arts school. I'm not really worried about that. I just like to talk, and I like to reach as many people with my conversation and see how many like-minded people there are in the world who want to have a good time. And I think that should be the goal of getting monetized, is getting your message out there. Most of us, I think, here on the panel have other things that we do. So, I mean, like this cricket never fucking sleeps. Sits here above me, chirping away. He's got a lot to say. What do you think, Cricket? You want to get monetized?
I will say this to Mega Jetty. No, I'm not putting all my videos on an age restriction because I don't talk about sexual themes. I just swear.
Yeah, I age restrict my stuff just because, things get crazy in the fandom zone.
Yeah,
this wasn't made for you.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about it too much. Just doing movie reviews. I don't get too wild with the reviews normally.
I don't know, Stevie. That romper stomper was out of control.
Yeah, well, that movie's definitely not age appropriate. Actually, it's not even appropriate for adults because it was bad.
But that is the thing. I don't want to completely age restrict my videos, but if YouTube gave you like channels of selection, is like, what's your target demographic? Like from the lowest age to the oldest age. I would type that in so then they don't have to worry about it with kids. But they don't do that. It would be smart if they did.
So
I don't expect to find my channel on the kid version of YouTube.
Okay. God, what does YouTube come to? But anyways, I'm going to share an article with you guys. Something a little off topic, but I don't know how many people in the chat here are interested, but we're going to go cars a little bit because I found an interesting topic here. Cadillac. Yeah, the Caddy's making a last stand. Can it revive the brand is the question. Cadillac's last stand. Storied Brand Aims again for revival. The New York Times brings us this. And as you can see, this is the new line of Caddy that they're rolling out. I'm just going to bring that up. It doesn't look bad. It's pretty sleek.
Well, before we get into it, you know that GM's been shutting down plants and then several stores around the U.S. and around the world because they're bankrupt.
Oh yeah, and this
Yeah.
goes back to Obama and that crisis that they were facing. Not to get ultra political, but I'm just stating where this car thing. General Motors hit a very bad dip during that, and I want to say that they were part of that large bailout.
Hey,
So
back in like the 70s, 80s, Chrysler had a government bailout. And then once they got the money from other stuff, they paid it off in full. I forget the guy's name, and I forget the guy's name right now. But this is why I hate, and this is why I keep telling my older brother, "Hey, I want you to get a chance, so then you could come talk about this shit because he knows all this thing about cars." But he was one of the greatest minds. He's kind of one of the reasons why I have a minivan, though, too. But he brought a lot of great ideas, and he brought a great vision to Chrysler at the time, and he made them a powerhouse. And he died this past year.
and Chrysler is doing pretty good, isn't it?
Chrysler's not doing good no more.
Since he's passed.
No, since he left, they're still kind of But considering they're being sold off to, they're trying to sell themselves off to Hyundai. No,
Interesting.
they're not doing good. And that's the second time I know that they've tried to sell off, because last time they sold off to Fiat, and now they're doing bad. So it's because of the reliability in recent years. But I'm telling you, at the time, that guy made them quality, and I think Shelby followed him because they were friends. And the thing is, he because like Shelby, they both used to work at Ford. I really wish I remembered his name, and I can't right now. But they both worked at Ford. But his visions were so great. But he had conflict like one of the Fords or this thing's because it's late and I can't remember the whole story. My brother does if you talk to him. But he could have been the CEO of Ford, but they clashed and they didn't. And then they hired him for Chrysler, and then he had his whole vision.
Yeah.
Very
interesting. See, when I dove into this cyber, I didn't know you'd have this much knowledge. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wish I remembered his name so everybody could look him up and try to fact check me.
Like it,
I'm pretty
facts.
Well, yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because I've told you I can't remember all of it. My brother's the one that remembers it all at the top of his head because he's the car guy.
Stevie will tell you this is the fandom zone. We have very few facts unless they come from the sources.
Yeah, they've got to come from Lee's sources. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the raccoons that escaped from the fire. Once the epitome of luxury, the high-end General Motors line is attempting another makeover to catch up with rivals that have overtaken it. So this is the new makeup. It's a Cadillac CT6 in Detroit. Although it is equipped with Super Cruise Drive Assistance System, the model's sales have fallen 60% this year, and General Motors may have to halt production. Detroit, a few American brand names have ever achieved the stature of Cadillac, which was once so closely identified with excellence in status that it became shorthanded for everything that was top of the line. A few brands have fallen as far. So,
that was a short ass article.
That was a really short article. Wow. Like normally I'm used to like going on. Yeah. So, wow. New York Times, man. What the hell is going on?
We need to go back to Zach from IndieWire.
Zach had a lot to say. PB, holy crap!
Hey! Didn't you guys know? Didn't you guys know that Joe Biden told us that we take truth over facts? We don't need facts.
I believe anything you tell me, PB.
Yeah, PB.
He said it. This is the truth.
He's
over
not
the facts.
lying, bro. The truth over the facts. I'm like, but the truth and facts are equal to each other.
Cyber's been dropping. Cyber's been the best guest, better than you, PB. Cyber
Bullshit.
Cyber has been hitting us with deep shit all night.
Okay.
The North remembers.
Exactly.
But PB, what do you think of Cadillac trying to do a revitalization of the brand? Would you get a caddy?
What do you mean? Like they're selling bottles of turtle wax to shine up their cars?
Basically, they
Is that what you
have a new
mean?
model out. They have a new model out that's doing terrible.
Oh. What the hell's wrong with it?
Nothing from what I can see. It's just they're not doing well, man. They're not doing well.
Well,
are they
what
really
do you mean,
pricey?
nothing? There's got to be something wrong with it.
Are they expensive?
What was that, Stevie?
I said, are they pricey?
Yeah, Cadillacs are expensive as fuck.
That's exactly the point. And here's the thing. The automobile industry has gone through a shift because people hadn't been willing to spend as much money, especially given the last couple of years, the way the economy
Yeah, given the last, couple days or so, they've spent their money on rodent removal and bug infestations.
Here in the fandom zone, bug infestations have been big. Fucking crooked.
Terrible.
So, yeah, I wanted to cover that because I didn't know Cybernetic was going to have such a knowledge about it, but he was talking about fact checking.
So
it's just a phrase, guy.
I know.
If the caddies are really expensive, how do they compare to like your Mercedes and BMWs and that kind of car?
Oh yeah, Cadillac is equal to like a Mercedes or so.
Oh, okay.
I would say it's a step. It's like I would say it's a little bit above a BMW though.
Okay. So
as far as what it's supposed to be, interior wise and ride wise.
So if you can buy those German-made cars and they're luxury cars for similar or less of a price, and perhaps get better quality, maybe that's why they're not selling.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I'd rather buy a BMW.
Yeah, I think
buy a Lincoln.
I think that's and I think that's the thing. That people feel like a Cadillac is a knockoff of a BMW, or the we'll compare it in store terms, the Walmart of a BMW.
Well, Cadillac used to be nice, really, really nice, because everybody knows what the old Cadillacs look like.
Oh man, an old school Caddy, you can hit a fucking train and live.
Yeah.
The new cars, man, you hit a rabbit and your shit'll blow up.
Yeah. But even like the old ones, they had more of a beauty to them. Now the new ones just kind of like, oh yeah, look, there.
It looks just like everything else.
It just looks like a car it just looks like some other car they have, and it just has a Cadillac badge on there.
Yeah, but you would still chase it.
No.
Yeah, you're a dog.
How do you think all dogs chase cars?
All dogs chase cars.
Wrong.
Oh, are you dog appropriating?
No, I'm just saying my dog didn't chase cars.
Because you didn't let it. That's because you didn't allow her to.
No, because she didn't give a shit.
Give her a chance, man.
No, she didn't give a shit. I can't give her a chance now. She's dead.
Oh.
That's why my channel is named this way.
Some cybernetic parts?
Because they're expensive and I'm poor. I've told you this.
I'm well aware. We're all poor as shit. That's why we talk to each other on the internet.
Yeah. Also, she lived 15 years, so she had a good life.
Pretty good.
So I want to get to a funny Star Wars article. Are you guys ready for a funny
Finally, Star Wars. So she's definitely a clone, man.
No, I'm not talking about.
No, she is definitely a clone. There's no way that she's going to the dark side.
I'm talking about the TSA.
No,
There's
Star Wars.
absolutely you want?
But I keep seeing people
you
go
think
back
it's a
and forth.
vision?
People say it's confirmed
think
she's
it's a
Sith,
vision?
and then other people say it's confirmed that it's fake. I'm like, which one is it, everyone? Where are you?
Stevie, you think
Hey,
vision?
Hey! In the words of LB, let's get back on topic, guys.
We are. You said Star Wars. I
Nope,
talked about Star Wars.
That's not Star Wars and TSA.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yes.
The Skywalker ascends. It's the same thing.
No. This is the TSA at airports.
I don't see anything. I just see a telescoping screen. What's happening? Oh, there we go.
Oh, that.
There's
yeah.
some bombs.
That did not surprise me that they did that, because look, they look like hand grenades. They look exactly like hand grenades. I know it says it's thermal detonators, which are Star Wars hand grenades, but take a look at that. They look like hand grenades. I even saw that. I'm like, oh, there's no way people would be able to bring this
those
home.
are hand grenades.
No.
'Cause those are the those are the ones from Disney in Saudi Arabia.
I heard this and I said, here's your family-friendly company. They're selling bombs to bring across the...
I mean, I do have to admit, they look freaking awesome.
You know what pissed me off the most when I first saw them? Like, because it's Disney. That's $7 for one of those.
Holy fuck.
I didn't even look up the price. I just know it's that. I just know it's going to be that price, because they're milk, which is not even fucking milk. It's just some vegetable shit. So they should take the label milk off of it. It's $7.
So let's talk about this article. TSA bans Star Wars Galaxy Edge thermal detonator Coke bottles from checked and carry-on luggage. So, this is going to be a very explosive article.
Yeah, you're not supposed to bring your bombs in the carry-on luggage. Like, duh.
That's bad news for Star Wars fans who want to bring home a unique bottle of the real thing as souvenirs from Star Wars Galaxy Edge at Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios. This is the awesome-looking Cokes there.
The real thing is Coca-Cola.
Remember, the airport $7 pops, they don't explode. Because I'm pretty sure I was going to say $7 pops don't explode, but I'm like, oh no, wait, that's right. Disney probably has them as the same price.
Is that the real thing though? The Coca-Cola?
Yeah, that's the real thing.
What the fuck?
The Transportation Security Administration has banned the thermal detonator Coke bottles sold in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and Disney Hollywood Studios from checked and carry-on luggage on U.S. flights. The TSA,
but what if I have them filled with black powder instead of soda?
They're still banned. TSA.
That's okay.
Just fill them up with piss. What are they gonna do?
Oh God!
No, that's still a liquid. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm putting like black powder in there or something. Like, that's not a liquid, so it should be okay.
You have to put some shot in as well.
By their philosophy, I guess. The TSA officials confirmed that souvenir collectible Coke bottles exclusively available in the new Star Wars land are prohibited on U.S. flights because they look like replica explosives. Replica items.
Whoa, hold on. They look like replica explosives? Who cares if they look like replica explosives?
You can hide an explosive.
Okay, it looks like a fucking toy. Yeah, it looks like a toy. I only care if it looks like the real fucking thing. What the fuck?
But here's the other thing, though, too. Before you continue, you see the tall water bottle from Dasani that doesn't
Yes.
look like a one. Does that count in them? Is that part of the mix? Because that doesn't look like a bottle. It just looks like
I'm
a
sure it
water bottle. Why would that one count? I mean, obviously you got to empty it, but why would that one count?
And here's the funny part: the TSA used to be so lax in their security. They're like, razor blade, small blade, sure, come on in. Now you can't bring shampoo on. God, the shampoo might explode.
You can bring shampoo. It's just got to be 3 ounces or under. Rules here, villain.
Yeah, if you're Stuart Little, that works.
It does explode, but not
So-
in a fiery explosion. It explodes because pressure. And
So are these
where your luggage is,
are these
they
Coke-
don't pressurize that shit.
are these Coke bottles getting banned because they look like thermal detonators, or because they've got liquid in them?
Both.
Which one
Because
is it?
they're replica. It
Both.
says replica
So,
items are
what are
not
they-
allowed on the craft.
They might as well ban any Kylo Ren, Darth Vader, or Emperor Palpatine figurines from traveling as well, because they're just as evil. You better watch out.
That's right.
No figurines allowed. They're Sith Lords. Don't let them on the plane. You fucking idiots.
They will corrupt you.
Exactly. Exactly.
So let's see what spokesman Jim Gregory has to say. The Coca-Cola bottles sold in Galaxy's Edge look like palm-sized thermal detonator grenades, embolized with logos rendered in the
Orbish.
Orbish? What the? Okay, good.
Orbish,
That
that's
is
the
a
name
made-up
of the...
language.
Yeah, it's the
Just
name of the
repeat it.
language.
You don't need to know what it is. You just repeat it.
The Orbish language.
Just call it the Star Wars language if it's too hard for you.
Thank you. Throughout the galaxy far, far away. In response to an online inquiry, the officer asked TSA Twitter account reply that the Galaxy's Edge Coke bottles were prohibited on flights because replica and inert explosives aren't allowed in either carry-on or checked-in bags. Look at these deadly bottles. They have strong intent. I don't like how that Sprite logo looks. That looks like the Sprite's exploding right there.
No shit.
terrible.
It says Sprite in bright fucking letters.
No, look at that little white symbol. That's the explosion signal right there. Terrorists could come on and
Okay.
start some shit.
Okay.
Yeah. The Galaxy's Edge Coke bottles could cause confusion for TSA screening. Yes, because the big words Coke and Sprite are so confusing.
Very.
When I say Coca-Cola, I think explosions. What, Gregory? What are you talking about?
I mean, if you got some Mentos,
The
yeah, then
freshman-
it's explosive.
Oh God, Gregory! It could create concern that it's the real thing. Gregory said in a phone interview. That's bad news for Star Wars fans who want to bring home unique bottles of the real thing as souvenirs from Spire Outpost Village on the Star Wars planet of Batu. The setting for the 14-acre land at Disneyland's and Disney's Hollywood Studio. The California-themed land opened in May 31st, and the Florida version debuts Thursday, August 29th. The Coke, Diet Coke, and Sprite bottles were designed to look like the spherical explosive weapons used by bounty hunters and stormtroopers in the Star Wars universe. The design is the thing. Just looks cool. Walt Disney Imagineering portfolio creative executive Scott Throwbridge said the bottles were unveiled in April, kind of thermal detonator-ish. It's kind of awesome. I agree with you. Good take on that, Scott.
Just send it through the postal service.
Jesus.
They'll do it.
Oh my
aunt used to
goodness.
send like food care packages to my brother when he was in college.
Here you
Yeah,
go,
they're
son.
fine.
Here's your thermal detonator. Oh Jesus, that'll be hilarious.
No. And now, which police department does your brother work for sniffing for drugs?
Oh no, he's a mechanic.
Oh, I just assumed that he was a police
Hey.
dog. Isn't that what Huskies do?
PB, you're
No, that's
barking
what
up the wrong tree,
shepherds
mate.
do.
What'd you say, Stevie?
I said, PB, you're barking up the wrong tree.
The Urbish designs mimic the look of the corporate brands, with the Galaxy Edge Coke bottles retaining the curve and swoop of the twin C's in the distinctive Coca-Cola logo. Thermal detonator bottle retains the trademark color scheme: red for Coke, silver for Diet Coke, and green for Sprite. Coca-Cola worked closely with Imagineering and Lucasfilm on the look of Galaxy's Edge soda bottles to create a familiar yet different design that authentically fit into the Star Wars universe. Coca-Cola and Disney are both listed on the parent of the distinctive Galaxy Edge bottle caps. Yeah, that was a tongue twister, but yes. So
Just take the lid off. They can't stop you then. Just say it for
No, when you take the lid off, that's when it's armed.
So I'm guessing that we've all got our ideas about this. What do you guys got for this? I think when I read this, I go, this is hilarious. Come on, TSA, really? You see Coca-Cola on it. You're going to say, oh, yeah, that's a thermal detonator.
Our Cokes don't explode. That's what they tell you.
I mean, it could if you've had a bad day. The toilet situation could be bad.
No, what would be great now if Disney or whoever is making these specific wraps or bottles or whatever, if they went back and they put on the bottle, not a real bomb.
No, they still keep it banned because you can't.
Oh no, they'll keep it banned. They'll definitely still keep it banned, but it'll be funny as hell.
I think they should just keep it going and just put front towards enemy on the front of it.
Like a freaking claymore.
Make it a claymore.
Make the Deshani make it a Claymore bomb. Just make it all the same. Make like souvenir, like put the awful frozen milk stuff, the slushies, in a gun.
So here's a really good marketing idea because of this happening. If Coke and Disney are smart and work on this, Coke releases them around Star Wars movies. Builds up hype.
Yes.
People will go buy them, and then they're off the store shelves, and you'd have to get them back.
I have never seen a polar bear in Star Wars. Polar bears sell Coca-Cola in the winter time.
Just dress up a polar bear in a stormtrooper suit.
Yeah.
And then
I'd buy that.
Thermal detonator.
All you gotta do is pop the helmet on. He's already wearing white.
There we go. Half your marketing's done. Just CGI.
Yeah, we should be a part of Disney's marketing team. Look at this. We thought of all these fun little ideas.
I reckon the TSA have just gone bonkers with this. I mean, they need to. I just had this funny image of like someone at the standing in the queue, getting all their stuff out, and they've got one of these bottles, and the TSA agent's like head whips around. They're like, "Oh shit, he's got one of those bottles," and then they look over it even further, and the next guy over's holding a roll of Mentos, and he's like, "He's got a Mentos!" Starts diving across the fucking.
So you have to
awesome.
The cap off the Coke one, quickly throw a Mentos, and they're shaking to throw it.
Yeah, exactly.
But now I want one of these things. I want to do some funny stuff with it.
I mean, I want all of them. When he first brought them up, or I think maybe when I seen them earlier today, I initially thought that they were freaking ornaments for your Christmas tree.
I first saw them like a year or two ago when they first announced them because
we know you're connected to the internet with all your cybernetic connections.
Yes.
He's in the web. He's like friggin' Ultron.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is hilarious, and you know, I understand their position. They have a tough position where it's like, you know, no matter what.
Do they have a tough position? They stand there and they want to feel your testicles.
I mean, that's tough, man. You know how many testicles that is?
Not if you like feeling testicles.
It's tough. That's like a calling. I mean,
no. Don't go there, man. That is not the tangent we want to go down. We want to go down like, is Ray a clone or is it a vision?
No, I'm not talking this Ray nonsense. We did a whole thing on it. I'm going to take an LB
do a whole
stance.
thing on it.
Yes, we've even had Dark.
What do you mean we did a whole thing on it? Okay, then what about Finn?
Ray's a vision.
Stevie, don't you feed into this nonsense. Don't you bring your mythical facts. Leave the wombats out of this.
I'm just staring up because I've got to go in a minute.
Excellent. I love it. So, I mean, we can all agree that they were dueling on that piece of Death Star that is in the ocean, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
We're going to go into it. Okay, go ahead, because I got one topic left. Go on your little
you have a topic left?
Yep. We go ahead and sidebar it. Huh?
What's the topic?
The last topic is one that's near and dear to my heart.
Okay, well, ask Stevie a question about it before he leaves.
Okay, so Stevie,
what do you think about that? Isn't that wonderful? What are your thoughts?
David Fincher.
Oh, fuck.
It is David Fincher's birthday, and we're asking his best movies. This is the man who's created great films. Just going to highlight here. We've got Seven, The Game, Fight Club, Panic Room, Zodiac, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Social Network, and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and of course, Gone Girl.
So when are you going to say the title of a good film?
All of those films were good, you uncultured son of a bitch.
When did that happen? Wait, maybe... I'll give you Fight Club. I'll give you one.
Really? You're not going to call Seven a great film?
Panic Room. I don't think I ever watched that fucking movie. I don't think I ever watched Panic Room either. They're so great, I never watched them.
Not that great.
See? He's connected to the internet. Why are we talking? Stevie, are these movies any good? You review movies.
Quite see. So
Stevie?
Zodiac is good. What do we got?
Okay.
Panic Room, not bad. Seven, excellent. Fight Club, excellent. The Game, good. Social Network, meh.
Did I say Zodiac? Because Mark Zuckerberg is meh.
Zodiac, good. Did I already say that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And what's that
but
last
now you
one?
said it twice.
Gone Girl. And that was just okay.
What about Seven? The only thing I know about Seven that his girlfriend's head is in the box. Oh, I spoiled it for people.
Seven's excellent.
That's all I know about that movie.
The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, It was all right. But I like that mostly for the memes that come out of it.
Yeah.
But as far as filmmaking goes, it's good. Yes.
And Fight Club?
Oh, yeah. Fight Club's good. I'd say great, actually. Fight Club's great.
Everyone likes Fight Club, but I've still never seen it. And my brother's like, "Oh, I got to show you it." I'm like, "Yeah." When are you gonna do that?
How could you have never seen Fight Club?
No,
We
How
don't
old
talk
are you?
about Fight Club.
Because everyone who knows is following the first rule.
old enough.
You never talk about it.
Yeah, you don't talk about it. You just grab your friend, you bring him into a room, and you turn the movie on. And then they go, "Oh, what is going on here? Oh shit. Oh, I guess we're watching this now. Okay, excellent. Oh, he's beating the fuck out of that guy, isn't he? I guess he ain't doing that job anymore. He just fucking quit."
Is that even a question? No, not what you said. What's that highlighted?
So,
I don't know.
Matt's Mama Bear. So, what's your favorite Brad Pitt movie? We'll go.
Oh, does Deadpool 2 count? I know it was a cameo, but does it count?
No.
No, he's got
It
to
counts.
actually
All right, it
have a
counts.
role.
Troy.
besides being
He was
invisible.
a Vanisher.
Yeah, okay. We'll make it more specific. He actually has to have dialogue.
He did have dialogue. He went.
Audible words.
It was audible.
That was very audible.
That isn't
Counts.
words, PB. That's the sound of death.
I mean, it says something in the
Death.
script. I guarantee fucking
Hang on,
it
hang on,
says
hang on.
something.
Hang on, PB. I couldn't quite make it out. Can you do it again? Thank you.
I forgot the sound he made on the ground.
I mean,
Brad
I'm
Pitt.
sure all
are
of
we
us
doing
have
this?
one Brad Pitt movie that we like. Cybernetic, what would be a Brad Pitt movie you really like?
I don't know one. That's why I asked that.
You
If
just
I
said
did, I
one.
don't remember.
7.
I haven't watched that.
You remember the head in the box, though. Everyone remembers the head in the box.
Everyone remembers the head in the box
Gwyneth
because everyone's
Paltrow.
referenced the head in the box.
What's in
That's
the
all I
box?
know about the
What's
movie.
in the box?
Is
Your
that how
mother.
it ends?
Morgan Freeman. Oh, and you know when okay, so I'm gonna go off on a tangent. When I saw that movie,
Oh. So we can go off on a tangent there, but we can't talk about Star Wars.
no. So
We still haven't answered Mad Bummer Bear's question.
I know. I said Troy.
Troy, that's a good one.
I mean, it's either Troy or probably like one of the Ocean's movies.
Oh,
I'm gonna say Fury for me.
No, the
Fury.
Ocean
Ah.
movies is George Clooney movies.
yeah, the Ocean's one.
Yeah, those are George Clooney movies.
They're also Brad Pitt movies. You
No,
could
it's
also
George
say
Clooney.
that that's not how that's not the question.
Okay, then my answer remains the same. Deadpool 2.
No, it doesn't. Oh God.
Give us it again, baby. Come on, give it to us again.
Okay, I mean, going by Zod's rules, the doesn't count. Apparently.
Zod, he's done it 3 times. Can it count, please?
Oh, damn it! Just
It's so
just
entertaining.
based on PB, we'll let that slide, Cyber. We're gonna give you that because
All right,
He made it compelling enough.
What movies?
I
he's been
actually think that his version was better than Brad Pitt's.
Okay,
in.
so
Oh, we got a
Zod,
miscast then.
Zod's gonna say Thelma and Louise was his favorite Brad Pitt movie.
No, actually, I'm going with
Probably
7.
gonna say I have to say. Oh, I thought he was gonna say burn after reading.
No, I like
Well,
I like 7.
Yeah.
Because it was a younger Brad Pitt, and the way he acted with Gwyneth Paltrow, seeing as to I can't stand her and I would seriously burn her alive.
You got some of
that
that Papa Potts?
No, I hate pots. I like pot. I hate pots. The way that he acted in that movie, and just like
Megamind.
Oh yes, that was
I was
good. A
scrolling
river
through
runs
his
through it is
shit.
Great.
I was like, oh, I've heard most of these have said, and then I saw Megamind. I'm like, oh yeah, that. That counts as a good movie. Yes.
That's
I want to
fair.
keep. Oh, apparently he was in Happy Feet too.
Yep.
Brad Pitt's
I
in,
didn't
like,
watch the
everything.
second. Oh, Kick Ass.
Was he in Kick-Ass?
That's what this
Yes,
thing
it's
says.
listed.
No, he wasn't. Nicolas Cage was in Kick-Ass.
What?
He played
No,
Big
it's
Daddy.
listed. Stevie, was he in Kick-Ass too or not?
No, the first one is saying that.
Oh, the first one.
That's what
I
it says
don't.
right now.
I don't remember him in it, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have a credit.
Okay, thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate your support.
maybe he's got
Thank you
another
for
one of those.
agreeing with me.
How
I
does it go?
appreciate
How does
it.
it go, PB? Maybe he's got another one of those.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Things.
Maybe it was a.
Thank you for that last one. I just love that.
So,
You're welcome.
I'm actually trying to figure out what he was doing in that movie. I'm looking.
I have to get out of the yard. I gotta get out of the yard.
Ah, you got to get out of the yard and fuck off, eh?
I gotta get out of the stream yard.
Out of the stream yard.
The stream yard. Good talk, guys. Good talk. Thank you.
Yep, it's too bad we weren't able to talk about your what you think it's a vision, hey?
Yeah. I'm a bit disappointed I didn't get to talk about my vision. And that
Maybe tomorrow.
And that double-ended lightsaber.
that's never been done before.
I think Google was being stupid.
That's 50-50.
All right.
I
I'm out
was
of
looking through the
StreamYard.
car.
See you guys later.
See you, Stevie.
See you later, Stevie.
So yeah, I think that we got super chats from Mega Jetty. First one says Brad Pitt is in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Very true. And second one says StreamYard is my yard. No, it's not. All right. So, yeah, I agree. Brad Pitt's been in so much stuff, you can't really peg him down for one thing. So, I wanted to bring that up.
I just did. I pegged him down for Ocean's 11.
No, what I'm saying is he's been in several different movies. He's a
No, but he's the best in Ocean's 11. I just told you.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't consider that a George Clooney, solely a George.
He's
Clooney.
always eating food.
He is. Very fair points. So, super chat from Butterfingers. It says, "Give me a wrench already, you putz."
Ooh, Butterfingers is getting needy. He wants some tools so that he can do stuff in the chat, hey? I don't know. That's totally up to the general. That's at his discretion.
Let's see. There you go, Butterfingers. Don't abuse it.
Super
chat.
The others from Mega Jetty 1. StreamYard is my yard, and you can bet on that yard. Yard.
So we talked
Gracias.
about Dinata. We talked about that whole thing. So okay, let's go into this to end the stream. Let's go into these ridiculous theories that I don't care about
ridiculous
anymore.
theories?
With Star Wars.
What do you mean? You don't like Star Wars?
I don't care about this. I'm going there to solely mock this movie.
What do you mean you're going there to solely mock the movie? You're telling me that you don't want to see a real lightsaber battle out in the middle of the ocean? You ain't never seen that before.
I would love to see a lot of these things, but the question is, are we going to see it? Or is JJ pulling a Russo brothers and just trolling us right now?
No, it's called a Rogue One.
If he's lying about this,
I
then
wish
we'd
that
have to
TIE
amend
fighter
that to
was
a
real.
Russos.
We all do.
I know. It was like, oh, it's could have been somebody. Anyone. Somebody could have hijacked it. It could have been an actual Imperial right there, and then you'd shot at her, and it was like, oh no. And so, some rebel crashes into the TIE Fighter Ex Machina. I don't care.
I mean,
But it would have it would have given a little bit more suspense at that moment.
see, here's the thing. Everyone is getting hyped on both sides about this, but people, this is what Disney wants. This is what Disney wants. They want to create buzz and get us talking again so we care, so they get the money. I have nothing that I'm donating but time.
You were going to
Everyone
see
else
the
is
movie
spending
regardless.
money.
If The Last Jedi was the greatest movie of all time, you were going to see The Rise of Skywalker. If The Last Jedi was the worst movie of all time, you were going to see The Rise of Skywalker because you see it for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. So your opinion on whether or not you were going to see it is irrelevant. We're only talking about what the stuff means and if it affects anything that you care about. Like, does it affect the characters that you care about? Like, Leia is still going to be in the movie, even
Don't
though
care.
she's dead.
Will it kill her
Why
off?
not?
Please?
You're
Just
not,
in a
you're
nice
not
way?
the slightest bit
Respect the
intrigued to see how
actress?
she's going to get killed off.
After Mary Poppins, no.
That's what I'm saying, is you got to see how they're going to kill her off. If that couldn't kill her, what's it going to take to kill somebody like that?
A stab in the gut. Like Han Solo.
A force hug.
Han Solo didn't get stabbed in the gut. He got stabbed in the heart, man.
And it looked like
The
it was
blade
a
went
gut
up.
to me, just like Starkiller was freaking stabbed in the gut and he lived. And I've been in denial about Han Solo really being dead. Actually, I've been in denial about everybody falling off in the edge for their death in Star Wars.
So you're telling me, Cyber, that you don't think that the Emperor died in Episode 6? You're in denial?
Yeah, 'cause look, in the EU, he didn't die. Darth Maul didn't
In the
fucking
EU,
die.
in the EU, he totally died. Having a clone of yourself doesn't mean that you didn't die. That's not the same.
I don't care. It's same idea.
Like, yeah, I understand that Darth Maul didn't die. That's a totally
He didn't
different
fucking
situation.
die. Starkiller didn't die. All these people is like, oh, if they don't die on screen, they're probably still alive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to be able to see the corpse cold to prove that somebody's dead.
Yeah, and that's why I'm pretty sure a Star Wars series is pretty sure that, that Mace is still alive because he flew out the window.
Cyber, I do agree with you. I don't think Mace Windu died. He was just sucked out of the window. He never hit anything. I didn't
He
hear
was sucked out of the window? They weren't in a fucking plane, man.
But that was the animation.
They were high up. There was wind going.
He got blown out of the window with lightning.
Well, whatever. He didn't die.
Nah, he fell back. Oh no, wait, sorry. That's what they did in the production. He fell backward. It's actually kind of funny. I watched the behind the scenes of that movie. He's just kind of like there, and he falls backwards. And as he falls on the mat, he's just laughing. They actually took that a couple times because he didn't take it seriously.
Thank you, Curtis. Hold on, I'm just gonna highlight this. He's alive. Damn it. Yes, he is. He is.
Yeah, he's going to appear in episode 9, and he's going to cut Kylo Ren.
And he's gonna be like, I've seen this before. I know what we gotta do. Not falling for this one again. Bam. Kylo Ren dies from Mace Windu. Perfect ending.
Well, I mean, there's just no way that Rey's turning to the dark side. There's a better chance of John Cena going heel.
There's a better chance of John Cena acting.
John Cena can act.
Terribly. I agree.
Didn't you see the movie Cock Blockers?
Horrible movie.
What do you mean horrible movie? That movie is hilarious.
It is god awful. That is like
Dude,
one of the
he
worst
shoved a
comedies
tube up his ass and they poured beer down it.
Exactly.
Yeah. How
My
many
point.
actors can you say would do that for their craft? That is acting.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Okay, one. Congratulations. One.
I mean, I'm sure I can find physical comedians that would do that. That's why they're
So
called.
you ain't like the movie The Marine either?
Horrible. That movie is in one of my top 10 worst action
It's got
films
the Terminator
ever
as a bad guy.
He was the sole reason I kept watching that movie. And even with his lines were terrible. 12 Rounds, terrible movie.
I didn't say anything about 12 Rounds. Why are you bringing up 12 Rounds? I just brought up The Marine. The Marine is a good movie, man. You go from set to set blowing shit up. That's the whole point. What do you think they're trying to accomplish in that movie? What do you think they're trying to accomplish in that movie?
I don't know because it's so terrible.
You think they're trying to tell fucking Romeo and Juliet story? No.
Okay, let me give you an example, Petey. Commando.
It's John Cena chasing down his ex-wife and averting disaster at every turn.
No. What are they trying to tell in the movie Commando? Absolutely nothing. It's just
and you love it.
Schwarzenegger kicking ass.
And you love it.
And I love it.
Okay.
What is The Marine about? A poor actor who gets caught in outlandish situations that can never
so it's exactly
happen.
the same and you hate it. They're exactly the same and you love one but you hate the other.
Because I hate John Cena.
That's great consistency from a movie reviewer.
And I hate him.
Way to go, Zod. Way to be consistent in your reviewing. They're exactly the same, but I love this other one because I watched it a long time ago and I connected to it. But now that I'm a ridiculous villain, I hate things differently.
No, I like people who actually act.
Who's acting in that movie?
Zod's on board that he hates that John Cena has taken Jeff Foxworthy's job as the host. As are you smarter than a fifth grader? All right, moving on.
Yeah, I won't be watching that show.
It's just I don't want to. I was like, oh, that show's coming back. Oh, John Cena's host. I like Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah, you need a comedian to do that job.
Oh my God, Hydra Comics. No, I will not read that super chat.
Super chat from Hydra Comics. John Cena got better, Zod. Come on, he's doing big things now.
Yes, he's hosting Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Dude, he just did a movie that you told me you loved.
What?
You told me you love Bumblebee. You said it's your favorite Transformers movie.
I loved Bumblebee. I just saw John Cena.
Yeah, with John Cena. He is the main actor in the movie.
No, he's not. The girl is.
No, the girl is just some leech on Bumblebee. The girl is some parasite inside of Bumblebee. Don't you know how Transformers work?
Actually, she's a parasite outside of Bumblebee.
No, you ride inside of a car, guy.
No, he's overhyped. He's overrated. He gets the title for some ridiculous reason. He
got the title 16 times
for no apparent reason because he sucks.
What do you mean for no apparent reason? It's because he has 5 moves of doom.
You
can't see me.
Triple H are on the same level of how much I hate they're so just.
No, I think Triple H only has 14 titles.
At least Triple H made a watchable film. So I'll give him that.
Okay, well, Triple H ain't never been in Star Wars either. But he would turn to the dark side. He is a vampire.
Oh, my goodness. Hydro, I'm going to have to... No.
What now? What's it say? Super chat. Loyalty, hustle, respect. You can't see me.
Fucking ridiculous.
I'm not ridiculous. Admit you love John Cena. Zod.
No, I love The
Admit
Rock,
it.
and I love what he said about John
Dude, if
Cena.
you love The Rock, how can you not love John Cena? They're like the same exact person, just in a
Oh
different
my
era.
God, you take that back, you son of a bitch. Don't
Oh, they're
even
not the exact
put the
same
great
person.
one.
I don't
One's
have
bald.
to take it back. My favorite wrestler is The Undertaker, who has no equal.
No, man, they're not the same. One's bald. Get with the times, man.
Oh, that's
One's
right. The Rock is bald,
bald.
like LeBron James.
You know, you saved yourself with that comment, though. The Undertaker doesn't have an equal. I will agree with you on that. Oh, you know what, Hydra? You know what?
That's true. That's true. I was looking at what Stig said. Super Chad, Hydra Comics. Don't make me F you, Zod on the table. LOL. We just have to get Devon around for that. He can get the tables.
Oh my God.
No, they need to get some wrestlers in Star Wars, that's for sure. Wrestlers make for great actors.
Oh,
Maybe that's just
Mega
me.
Jetty did have a comment. He said,
I cannot see the chat anymore. I'm letting my dogs out at the same time, so you gotta inform me of what's going on in there.
Super chat from Mega Jetty 1. He was flung out a window and arched downwards. He could have fell. Oh, he was talking about.
Oh, he's talking about the guy who I stole my lightsaber from. Like,
yes.
He fell down. He dropped his saber. I was like, ooh, nice. I'll take that.
And then he says, Super chat. Whoa, General Zod, slow your roll. 12 Rounds is an underrated movie. It's based on Speed. I love it. It's a knockoff of Speed.
Oh, shit. I didn't know it was a knockoff of Speed. It must be an excellent movie.
No, because you have
Dude, that's like saying
called Keanu
okay.
Reeves.
Oh, hold on. Let's do a little comparison. I assume that you've seen both Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down, yes?
Yes.
Which movie is better?
Olympus Has Fallen.
Wrong. So wrong. Like,
What?
the cheap movie out of that pair is so much better.
I disagree.
And you would be so incorrect. Like, it's so much funnier. The action is even better in that movie.
Oh.
Like, and you review movies?
Yes, this is why I
Zod
review movies. I review good movies.
Yeah, like Annabelle Homecoming.
I said my opinions, and that wasn't a very good movie.
Yeah, Annabelle Homecoming doesn't exist. Not a thing.
I know it's Annabelle Comes Home. It's corrected in my thing. You won't let it go.
I will never. I mean, it's in the video. You say it out loud.
Yeah, I do, and I don't take it back.
I don't know. I still got to make my video of low battery C3PO. I got it all planned out. I just got to get the wording right. I mean, what do you think? What do you think Red Eye C3PO is? You think he was just smoking a J in the back, and he just sat up like, "Hey, motherfuckers, what's going on up here?"
I just think the Duracell started running out.
Oh, so I am right.
Oh yeah, I agree with the low battery. I like
butter. I'm going to question my sanity in the next video I have. I should really start. I'm not kidding. I'm just yelling. Most of the videos of me just yelling.
Yelling at who?
The game.
Yelling at Star Wars?
No, just a game.
Wait, Zod, so when the first trailer came out, Zod, you were upset then when that teaser came out? And they were like, "Oh, it's a TIE fighter in the desert, and they're not really showing me anything." And then, "Oh, there's a everybody, no one's ever really gone. Emperor's back," and you were like, "Oh, this is bullshit."
I still thought that was a type of land speeder.
When
I mean, who cares what the fucking actual?
When I saw it, I said, "Oh, here's Rey. She's breathing heavy. Oh, there's a TIE fighter. Don't do it, Lucas. You're gonna do it. Don't do it. Yep, she's gonna fucking jump over.
What the fuck are you eating?
This is what I said when
chicken
I watched the
parmesan.
first trailer.
Oh,
Why the fuck is Palpatine laughing?
because
And
that's what
I watched it
Palpatine
through
does.
Jeremy's live stream, and he's like, "Oh, because he first thought it was Mark Hamill laughing." I'm like, "No, that was clearly
Jeremy's
Palpatine."
he's a putz. He was a big putz when he heard that. I was like, well, I
I'm
suppose
like,
he wasn't the only
clearly heard
one, because I
Palpatine.
know that it sounds different when you're in a big frickin' auditorium or whatever.
But I heard it, and I watched his video. I was watching the live stream. That's how I first saw it. And I heard that, and then it was just proven after he walked out on the stage afterwards, and they played it again. I don't know how he heard Mark Hamill's because it's a completely different laugh.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I heard when I first saw it, and I heard the Emperor, I go, wow, they're really reaching for this one. Like, they're going
Yeah,
for...
now you heard. Okay. So now in this one, you heard Darth Vader at the end.
And the next trailer, we'll hear
when they
General
were
Grievous
showing new
coughing.
footage. That'll
That'll really get them. That'll really get them to start hearing General Grievous coughing.
Well, I mean, that'll be a little upsetting considering we saw him die on screen. Like, that was somebody we saw get murdered.
Yeah, like his heart exploded.
I mean, well, I wouldn't say it exploded. I would say it more like disintegrated.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
like he shot him with an uncivilized weapon.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that.
I mean, if Stig would jump on the live stream, because I know that he just woke up because he wasn't in the live stream chat forever. And then he popped up in the live stream chat. So now he's awake and waiting for his friend to come over and drink some coffee. He'd be like, so uncivilized.
Next trailer, Boba Fett dabs.
Oh my God.
God, no.
No, there better not. Okay, something like that would agitate me a little bit. I don't want to have any of this like modern references like brushing the dirt off the shoulder in the stupid non-existent lightsaber battle. Like, I don't want any of that stuff in my trailer or in the movie. I mean, did they have any references like that in The Force Awakens? I can't think of any off the top of my head.
No, none that I could think of. So it was pretty straightforward. I don't know. We'll wait and see. Anyways, it covered a lot of good topics. Laughed and cried.
Well, you don't want to talk about Star Wars anymore?
No, man. You hear the crickets?
No, man. I'm tired. I need to get back to eating my chicken parmesan.
Heck yeah. Went with a unicorn, took her out for a nice dinner, and she got the chicken Alfredo. I got the chicken parm.
Why would you get chicken parm if chicken Alfredo is an option? That's weird.
I was torn, PB. It's one of those things where she's like, I'm getting the chicken
Torn.
Alfredo.
See, I know that you're torn. See, I knew there was a part of you that wants that this movie to be good. It's going to be the one in an end game.
I think there's a part in all of us that want.
Did you see the tweet that I put out?
Geeka's idle tendencies put this accurately, but according to some people, no one ever agrees with it. He says PB and Zod are exact opposites on everything. But geekicidal tendencies, if you listen to some other people, they'd say we all sound the same and agree with each other. So
we just agree all the time. We just
agree on everything. I mean, yeah. No, that's what makes it work, is the fact that
you didn't answer my question, so that makes me think that no, you didn't see the tweet that I put out earlier.
No, actually, I may not have.
Look at it. Bring it up right now. I thought it was pretty good. Should be the newest one. I thought that I tagged you in it. Joining soon. Nope, not that one. should be before that.
Oh,
Like
I
did
see.
that.
With the poster.
Yeah, the one with the poster, and then it has a GIF attached to it.
All right, let's check it out.
I mean, I like the GIF more than I like the poster. I mean, kind of. It's a little heartbreaking, but you know, you live with it.
So that's the poster.
Yeah.
And
So you click on the tweet. It'll probably bring up the other one then too.
Who's the person that posted that it looked like a PlayStation 2 video game cover? Because after they saw that, I'm like, yeah, I can't unsee it anymore. It looks like a video game cover.
Yep, I agree. Look, you know, I share the same feelings that everyone else does. As a Star Wars fan, you want it to
No,
be
you don't.
good.
I hear a lot of people say that they don't fucking care at all, and they don't give a shit one bit. Everything is ruined. It doesn't matter. There's nothing that could possibly happen. Unlike, people like it's proper Jeremy that got me on this kick and made me think of that phrase, and then I thought it up and I was like, ooh, this is a good one. So I wanted to make sure I got that tweet out there so now I can, air quote, get credit for the phrase. Fucking dog, get up here.
I'll say that.
Here's the thing. I'm just gonna say I call BS on a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, I don't care." As a fan, you care because you're pissed. You're talking about it, so you care. It's just that you've been burned so many times that it's just like, can I take another heartbreak?
I've been burned from a lot of other things, and I don't really get hyped for anything anymore. I'll get hyped for like a concert.
Or not a video game though? You don't get hyped for video games? Like that's what your channel is about.
I pre-ordered Halo 5.
Ooh, a pre-order.
Yeah, and we all know
that's like
how
buying
Halo 5
tickets
went
ahead
down.
of time.
And we all know how Halo 5 went down.
No, we don't. I don't play Xbox.
I think the last game I thought was really interesting and a little bit hyped for, but I was just waiting for it to come out, was Fallout 76. And yeah, trash.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did not get that game.
That was a dumpster fire. And
total
Stig,
dumpster fire.
Welcome.
Oh, hello there.
Hello there.
I'm gonna put a great Todd Howard quote in the chat though.
Oh, he's got the good picture up too. I like that picture.
So Stig.
Yes, darling.
Did you see my tweet, Stig?
Nope.
Oh, damn it.
Do you still have hopeful optimism for the Star Wars, or are you on board with the who really cares crowd?
They won't fix anything because the damage has been done and they're sticking with the damage. So episode 9 won't make any kind of sense, no matter what they do.
I mean, they say that they're sticking with the damage. How much can we believe them?
What if they just pretend episode 8 didn't happen? It's still a possibility.
Well, there was an interview just yesterday that got posted where JJ said he'd been collaborating with Ryan Johnson since the beginning.
Yeah, but JJ's working with them.
Yeah, they have to be the worst duo ever since 8 contradicts 7 and even itself. That's not good planning, is it?
No, not
That's
at
what
all.
I'm saying is
Or they
JJ may have worked with him, but I don't think that Ryan ever worked with JJ. Like all of the interviews that came out before where they say, oh, well, he went off and wrote it before they were even done shooting or had finished episode 7. Like, you got to know how the movie is finished Not how the script is done, not when the filming is done. No, when the movie is finished and it has the final cut, that's when you start writing the next story. Not before that, or else you don't know what the story is going to be. And that's what he did. So yeah, like you said, greatest duo of all time.
And super chat from Mega Jetty. He is. I was mixing them up. This is why I gotta go to bed, you bastards. Super chat.
You get mega titties in super chat.
I'm off to bed, everyone. General Zod, I sent you a DM on Twitter regarding possibly having me on. Good night, y'all.
We definitely
Mega,
would have
I
to
wouldn't
do
mind
that.
getting you on the channel. I've been on Mega's channel.
Well, we'd have to do that on a night where we have the sheriff on.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Where's
Mega,
the sheriff?
You've had some.
LB, he had to go to bed early because he's got to get up early for some secret mission. That's what I was told.
Well,
fucking cricket.
Yep. He's a loud cricket. He has a lot to say.
No shit.
Shut up!
Who's broadcasting from the prairie?
That's odd.
Oh.
Like, he's got X-ray fucking vision, but he can't find a cricket. Because it's one of two things. Like, either you should be able to see the cricket, or you should be able to see the one spot where you can't see the cricket. Because it's covered in lead. Like, it's one of the two. Either way, you should be able to find a cricket.
Yeah, but, you know, Kryptonian crickets. They're not easy
but you
to
know,
tell.
sometimes in life.
Sometimes in life.
No. Oh. You gotta work on your super hearing.
Curtis said, laughing my ass off, yelling at a cricket. What has happened?
What has happened? I mean, that's... can you imagine getting to the end of episode 9 and that's what you hear at the theater is a fucking cricket? You're like, oh, that's how it ends. All right. Time to go home now.
Not with a cricket.
Matt's Mama Bear puts in the chat, the cricket is the theme music for the fandom zone.
Holy shit. That's the elevator music in the background that's constantly playing.
Yep.
Which tweet are you talking about, PB?
Oh, the one where I have the poster for Star Wars in it. And then it has a GIF of Tony Stark linked to it if you click on it. So it has one phrase together. I don't know. It's like the third or fourth one down on my page or something like that.
Yeah, 2 hours ago.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah, that tweet. That's the one. That's what I was talking about. That's what Proper Jeremy was talking about. What if Star Wars is, or what if Episode 9 is that 1 in 14,605 that it doesn't have to retcon everything. Like I said, if the movie picks up and they're like in that mirror sequence, and then you get a whole bunch of training at the first end of the movie, you're like, oh, well, we didn't retcon anything, but it was a long vision, so everything played out differently.
If she gets training, that would retcon something already. Because it's canon that she got all her skills from downloading them from Kylo.
Well, there's a difference between downloading a skill and honing a skill. That's what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah, Neo from the Matrix downloaded a shit ton of skills, but he had to actually practically use them to.
Yeah, but by having that bit canon, they've just made sure that every master and apprentice in Star Wars history is just completely stupid.
Rey is the Avatar. Oh wait, sorry, wrong format.
No,
I mean,
that's
she
good,
could be
Disney.
because Disney owns that. I mean,
no, they don't. No, different Avatar. The Nickelodeon Avatar.
Yeah, I mean, every youngling or Padawan in Jedi history could have just just downloaded all the skills Yoda had
That'd be scary.
within seconds.
Maybe the downloading has some after effect like making you go dark side. And that's why they don't do it that way.
Well, the Sith could have done it then.
Okay, it works for the Sith. We never had that explained in the Sith.
Maybe the downloading gives you brain damage or crazy hallucinations.
Don't know, but it's as it stands now, it's weird. And apparently, you can overdose on the Force now, which should be impossible.
Yeah, that's the one that
Nah,
I'm
man,
the
the
most upset with.
midichlorians,
Yes.
you take a hit of that, you could become addicted, and
can't
then you have to go to rehab.
What? Take a hit of
Now we know what's in the
midichlorians?
death sticks.
Smoking midichlorians.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a public service announcement at the beginning from Luke. My name is Luke Skywalker, and I'm an addict. I take too many midichlorians. You know, you can see the effects. Show a picture of Darth Vader with his mask off. Kids, don't do the Force. Say no to Force using. Brought to you in part by Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, it would have been nice if Yoda had warned the younglings that they could actually OD on the Force.
Well, it's like Perp says, Yoda's trash.
Yep, that reinforces his point.
Yeah, and the Force Ghosts can affect
Real
the
life.
world
Yeah.
by making lightning strike it, which means Yoda and Kenobi could have just killed Palpatine as soon as he was outside. Just have the lightning strike him. Could have done it right away.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. I want this.
So why
movie.
didn't he?
I don't know. I guess he wanted the galaxy to bleed.
So there's no hope for the movie. Period. It can't. There's nothing that can be helped, and we just have to watch the first 6 movies and be happy with the story.
Yeah, the first 6 movies, and read the old EU books because they actually make sense when they.
I gotta get them on Audible then.
Yeah.
Fucking dogs, stop running back and forth, you cock. God damn.
Like that.
Lay down. Thank you.
Here's the thing. This is what I feel. I feel like something terrible is going to happen because JJ likes picking and choosing things, and we've talked about some of his copy and pasting. And my fear is he's now going to go to like Rebels and Clone Wars and maybe
take all the season stuff.
And he's going to pick and choose shit. And my biggest fear is I don't care how terrible this movie is, but I swear to Christ, if I see those goddamn space whales, I'm walking right out of the movie. I'm walking straight out of the movie, and I'm going to find JJ and shoot him.
I thought you liked Rebels.
I loved the Rebels. I hated the space whales. Why do we have whales?
What do you have?
Why do they have some kind of time traveling ability? It was a shitty way to make that ending make sense.
Fucking time travel, guy. They just have their own form of butthole hyperdrive.
I thought you were talking about those one creatures that were in the when you're saying space vessel. I thought you were talking about those one creatures in the Clone Wars that lived in the nebula.
No. He's talking about. He means to say space squids because whales don't have tentacles.
It's still a sea creature. What are they doing flying?
What do you mean flying? They're in space. You don't fly in space. You float.
What are squids doing in space?
Dude, it's a galaxy far, far away. What do you want me to tell you?
No! We are not explaining that BS away by saying it's a galaxy far, far away.
What do you mean?
No!
There were fucking, oh my god, but there can be whales in the nebula in the Clone Wars. That's okay. But there can't be squid in Rebels in space. That's not okay.
No, because it was a major plot point.
Just,
Kind of pointless to have squids in space, though. I mean, if they spray ink, it would be redundant since it's black in space anyway.
No, they
Thank
do a
you,
hyperdrive. They do a hyperdrive thing.
Oh,
I didn't even watch it. I watched that last episode. I'm like, oh, what happens to Thrawn?
that
What?
actually reminds me that shot in the trailer with all the Star Destroyers, right?
yep.
Yeah,
They're all dark, so they're no lights in them, so they're basically just parked, right?
probably. Yeah. It's, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You
Which
got
is
yeah. It's just probably a shipyard, an abandoned
Mm-hmm.
shipyard.
Yeah, which is something they've stolen from the old Thrawn books. It's identical. They find an old storage of Star Destroyers. It's right out of the Thrawn books.
This is Stick.
So he is
What I'm
picking.
saying.
He is picking and choosing. And
Yes.
I also
Well-
noticed something very weird.
Cool.
All the rebel ships come out of hyperspace within the atmosphere of a planet,
Yep.
which in episode 7 was considered to be extremely difficult and downright suicidal. But
Yeah.
and Solo could do it because he was a kick-ass pilot. But now it seems everyone can do it, and it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, in the same sense, like what episode is it? Is it 2 or 3 where Obi-Wan is going around with his own starfighter from planet to planet?
Yeah, that's episode 2.
That's too.
Episode 2. And when he comes out of hyperspace, how far away is he from every planet? He is substantially far away from the planet.
Yeah,
For
which is,
safety.
they actually explain it in episode 4, because Solo tells Luke he has to calculate the hyperspace jump, so he doesn't come out of hyperspace inside a planet or a supernova or something, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, because you
'Cause you
wouldn't
can't
want to
just-
fucking be dead.
Yeah,
You can't just do a hyperspace jump. They have in the lore. It's said that there's calculated highways and ways that you have to travel across the systems.
yeah.
And I know Kashyyyk, it was a very important planet because there was a lot of those highways and systems, and a lot of them the Wookiees knew.
Yeah,
That could get
hyperspace.
to the core worlds.
There's even a huge story in the old comics from way before episode 1, where they're actually exploring the hyperspace lanes and charting them out.
Ah, interesting.
But now you can just jump willy-nilly, even inside planets, and who knows? They scrapped all the lore and started anew, but they rushed it, so now it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
They
doesn't
should have really just let
jive.
George write this shit and then give him an idea where to go, and then they went from there, but they didn't.
Even the galaxy map, if you look at the old EU map, it has like 100 planets or something. The new one has like, I don't know, 15?
What?
Yeah, because they
Oh
scrapped
my
it.
god.
It only has stuff from the that has been shown in Rebels and whatever, or mentioned in the movies. That's it.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
they just wiped everything clean, and they're just adding stuff, but which won't make sense because sooner or later they're going to add some important planets that the characters in episode 7 to 9 would have used if they'd known about it, right?
You would think so.
Yeah.
Or 1 through 6, somewhere.
Yeah.
I still
mean-
hate what they did to Solus, though.
But see, guys, you're missing the big thing here. You're missing the big thing.
Oh, okay. Well, let us know what the big thing is, General.
You are missing the fact that Disney's tactic for the time being has worked, because we have sat here an extra freaking hour talking about Star Wars.
Dude, we only been talking Star Wars for like 20 minutes.
It feels like days
Oh
since
my
this
god.
stupid sizzle reel has come out. It's been all over, and this is exactly what Disney wanted. People theorizing, talking, and caring again.
You know
This is
something?
all part of the plan.
You know something, Saad? You have an excellent point because before the first trailer, I saw pretty much every fandom menace YouTuber out there saying boycott episode 9. That was like a hashtag. But as
Right.
soon as Disney just jiggles Palpatine's laugh in front of them, everyone's gonna see it. It's like giving candy to a kid. It works. Be quiet. There's a
I mean,
piece of licorice for you.
okay. I guess I fit into a weird category because in both reactions, because I caught both of them. I caught this one like 20 minutes after it was released, so I didn't even see anybody else's reaction at all, period, to it. Like I was one of the first people, at least in our group, to do any reaction. The only person that I was sub to that got one out before me was Drunk 3PO. And in both of them, I was like, this doesn't entice me to go see it like the first weekend or anything. Like, I don't need to go and see this immediately. But it does make me want to talk about it. And not necessarily specifically about what happened in the 15 to 20 seconds of new footage we got, but of what the counter is to the footage. Like, if Rey is dark side, what does that mean for the other characters in the story? Or if it's a clone, what does it mean for the other characters in the story?
But it lends to the point that Disney's marketing. I give Disney one bit of credit, and that's no matter if you look at TLJ or anything else, Mandalorian, Disney can do one thing expertly that keeps them always
sell drugs to children.
Besides that, and have us smuggle bombs in. They can get us talking. And that's exactly what this whole thing was. Before, and Stig, you can back me up on this. Before, when that first trailer released, look at the reaction videos for that from the named channels, right? You had a few here and there, but no one was really buzzed about it, right? People were like, meh, whatever, right? Now the sizzle reel comes out. They throw a whole bunch of stuff out. And look at everybody's talking. Everyone's having a discussion. Everybody's like, oh, what does it mean? C-3PO's eyes are red. Oh my God. Is he low battery or is he evil? What is the deal with Rey having a lightsaber? Yep. It's the same exact schemes that they've been pulling out for everything that they put out. I give the marketing team credit. They're doing a hell of a job. So when you ask me, what's my care level? Am I going to go and see it? Yes, because me and LB are going to do a reaction, which I was fond of when we did our Spider-Man reaction. And if you haven't checked out the Lonely Banners channel, go and check it out. It's a lonely man giving you his views.
Sounded like you said Lonely Banner, but okay.
I want to say this about the C-3PO. Every time I look at it, I do think the eyes were tinted, though, for the trailer.
And I think, you know what? I want to put up what Tommy said here in the chat. He said Disney disrespected everyone, Zod. Did they fess up and admit it to it? Apologize for it? Did they give Ali his headstone? No, they did not. Stop shilling for him. I agree. When we look back, Disney still has not actually righted its wrong. And guess what? I hate to disappoint everyone who will watch this or whatever. Disney is not going to give you your apology. They don't care. They're going to keep on doing this stuff. That's who they are. They're a maniacal, evil bunch of pricks. But what they can do is they can market the hell out of their products. That's what keeps them ahead of the competition. Because right now, we're having a discussion about Star Wars. They've done exactly what they set out to do. They even got me interested in theme parks, and I don't go to theme parks. But they said, hey, Avengers Campus. And I was like, wait, what? Spider-Man? There's a Spider-Bot? What the hell is this? Right? They came out with the Villainous. I'm like, hey, I like Halloween stuff. I have a kid. This looks pretty cool. This is what they do. This is why they're good at their job, and this is why, you know, Star Wars is not in this critical state that everyone wants to think. Because as long as they have a good marketing department, whether we hate it or we love it, they're still going to get us talking about it. And if we're talking about it, then we're still giving it views, and people are still interested. And good or bad, people are going to go see the channels, and there's still going to be discussion.
Well, they're going to come see our channel and listen to us talk about it.
You know,
that's what you, I mean, that's what you're not looking at. Like, yeah, maybe it helps them out, but it helps out everybody else below them more than it's helping them, I would think, at this stage.
But
especially with only releasing the little bit that they did. Because when they released the first teaser, it was at Star Wars Celebration, and they were releasing everything. It wasn't the only thing released.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. What's been talked about...
You missed a super chat earlier, too, from Mad's Mama Bear at 3:04.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Let me go up.
Yep. Scroll up, villain.
I'm scrolling. Okay, super chats from Matt's Mama Bear. Hail Zod's Pet Cricket Doomsday. I like it. You like the name Doomsday? Hold on, everyone. Yep, loves the name.
Oh my God. He can speak cricket, but he can't speak English.
No, man. Crickets share a similar dialect to Kandorian, therefore we can understand them.
I've seen what Stig put in the chat. That's funny.
Oh, let's see. From Stig Kenobi. Every YouTuber told fans to boycott episode 9.
No, that's not what it says.
Every YouTuber
you almost read it. Yeah, there you go.
To boycott episode 9 are now excited to see episode 9. Sellouts, shot fired. Ha ha ha. Stig, I agree. What do you think, BB?
I think that I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff because I've never called for a boycott of anything. Unlike General Zod, who's like, nah, fuck the bagel industry, boycott everything.
No. I did not say boycott everything.
Yeah, you
I
said fuck
kill
Sophie Turner. Oh, that's right. Don't boycott them, murder them. My bad.
Come on, let's get it straight, okay? When I go big, I go all the way. Forget boycott and their life.
That's true. No, he's got a good point. There were plenty of people out there that would say boycott and then are like, ooh, did you see the new footage?
Yeah.
It's kind of exciting.
I'm going to watch it so you don't have to.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I do love that excuse.
Yeah, I also remember before Celebration, a lot of the big YouTubers were pretty much boasting for half a year that they would show up in droves at Celebration and call out Disney, right?
Yep.
And then they showed up and they behaved like little lambs. Well behaved, didn't even ask a critical question.
I don't know, man. It seemed to me like they were up in the stands cheering.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say something. I would give Anna, that Star Wars girl, credit. She did a video, and there was a story that struck me that she said where she came out. There was a little girl dressed like one of my favorite characters, Ahsoka, and she said, "Oh, you know, that's a great costume, blah blah blah. So Ahsoka's your favorite," and the little girl looks at her and goes, "Who's that?" And that right there to me explains the mentality of the new fans. Who's that? Yeah, I mean, Emperor Palpatine.
What does that have to do with what Stig said?
So here's the thing: the people who know who that is were sitting there and not saying anything. They weren't doing the big protests. They didn't ask the hard questions, like Stig said, and they just let this stuff pass on by. Is why, if we're supposed to have these opinions and we're fighting this garbage, then you can't fight it in a private forum, even though YouTube is pretty public. You know, in your corner of the universe, you've got to go out and say something like these SJWs and these supposed Star Wars fans like to boast about. You know, a difference, they're very vocal about attacking us. We should actually say something back to them in a public setting, but no one does.
Yeah, it was not even a critical question, and a lot of them actually got donations, so financial donations, so they could actually go there and do it. Nobody did.
Yeah, those are good points. Rosita Allen put super chat. General Zod, I will sing of Disney sucking it for the rest of my days. Fuck Disney.
He just sexualized.
Very much.
But yeah, you know, I've been saying this, like, the only way that you're gonna hit these people is in their wallet. And you can't, you know, everyone's talking about the new Disney streaming. You can't buy these things because you're giving them money.
Wait, is everybody talking about Disney Plus, or is everybody talking about this sizzle reel?
It's both. They're talking about
Disney wins again.
exactly. They're talking about all things Disney. It's exactly how they planned it. It's what they wanted. They wanted people talking again, and they got it. And now it's going to continue for months leading up to the film. And then after, I'm willing to bet there'll be 15,000 different videos, either bashing, probably bashing episode 9, but you're still accomplishing the same thing that Disney wanted. You're going to be talking about it, and it's going to make its money. I don't share in Perp's ridiculous figures.
What number do you got in your head?
If I'm going by the Captain Marvel standard, I'll give it $1 billion.
Oh, what do you mean by the Captain Marvel standard? It's going to make well over $1 billion, because Captain Marvel is a mediocre movie, and this is going to be probably better than a mediocre movie.
No.
Yeah.
It's going to be worse than Captain Marvel.
No, there's no lightsabers in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but the episode 9 is the final part of a trilogy, which is the last bit.
I know, whereas Captain Marvel is a prequel.
Yeah, but the soup has been pissed in, and they're just serving us a fresh bowl from the same pot.
I like that analogy. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's it's the thing I'm getting sick of. I'm so tired of the Lion Kings and the Little Mermaids and the rehashing shit and the revitalizing Home Alone.
Is it gonna make more or less than the last movie?
The Lion King one? Made more.
Is it gonna make more or less than TLJ? Because Captain Marvel made 1.1. TLJ made 1.3.
I'm gonna put it at 1.2 to put it up.
Of course, you would split the difference.
Yeah, because I'm gonna put it above Captain Marvel because they're not the same, but I'm gonna put it below TLJ because I don't think it's going to have the momentum that TLJ did.
I mean, I think we're forgetting the fact that a lot of people, regardless, they're completionists.
Yeah,
they can't help themselves. Like, there are a lot of people that have the OCD completionists and are like, well, I need to go see it before it's spoiled for me. I can only avoid the internet for so long.
Yeah, I mean, you go on Twitter, no matter what platform you use, it's gonna be big. You got to see it first day because people are gonna put out memes and.
I didn't say you have to see it first day. That's not what I said.
Well, you know that for okay, we'll be generous.
I didn't
week
see Endgame
or
on
two.
first day. Nothing was spoiled for me.
Didn't you go on a blackout though?
No.
I don't know how you pulled that off. Then you're a better man than me.
I was not in a total freaking blackout. You just got to not be a moron.
Captain Marvel didn't have the competition Episode 9 will have, though, when it's released.
I mean, but here's the thing. It's got a smart slot. It's that Christmas kind of slot, like it's like before Christmas, but it's in that range where they release all of those shitty holiday movies. So really, what is it going up against?
Jumanji.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I think
you can split the difference between those two. Let's see. I'll pull up the December movies, and I'll give you an idea of what Star Wars will be running against.
Cats.
I'd much rather see Cats, actually.
I know you would, but Cats is trash because Broadway is trash.
You uncultured swine.
Sure.
You got to be kidding me.
Well, I'll take a long pause and think about it.
Ooh, good one. Good one. That almost freaked me out.
So look at this stellar lineup. Okay, let's look at the competition that Star Wars is facing. I'll even go up to December 6th and give it the benefit of the doubt that any of these movies make it that far.
What do you mean December 6th? It doesn't come out until the 20th of December.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I will give it like this movie may have an unusually long run. Okay.
Oh, you're saying you're gonna start at December 6th.
Yeah, and go through the list. So that you guys
share the screen.
Yeah, why aren't you screen sharing?
Okay, so let's
You will share the screen and you will do so immediately.
Okay, so here, guys, look at this stellar list of movies that Star Wars has.
Zoom in.
Competition.
More.
Okay, so first off, the Aeronauts. I have no clue what that is.
Playmobil movie.
The Boy 2, Playmobil the movie, Little Joe, and Portrait of Lady on Fire.
I don't know what any of that is. Continue.
Exactly. December 13th,
right.
Which is still nowhere near when Star Wars will get released. They got Black Christmas,
Jumanji. It's 1 week before.
Yeah, that's still these movies.
It's fucking week. It's on the next fucking line.
But here's the thing, PB. In movie time, that is
Oh my. In movie time, 1 week. Oh my God! You
1 week makes a huge difference because if your movie fizzles out before the end of the week, whatever comes after it is going to kill it.
No,
you're absolutely done. Unless you're a Captain Marvel for some strange reason, you are screwed.
Just read the movies.
So we got Black Christmas, Jumanji: The Next Level, Cunningham is a limited run, Hidden Life, Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon.
It's not limited run, it's limited in theaters, as in it's not in every theater in America.
And Uncut Gems. So
and now that we've traveled so far into the future from December 13th, we just went so fucking far, an entire 7 days.
Which makes all the difference in the world for a movie run.
All the fucking difference.
Yes, because I actually work in the theater.
Yeah, you working in the
you
theater.
very
You and your anecdotal evidence.
We have Bombshell, Cats, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, and Super Intelligent.
I love that you still read it off when we were just talking about all of the movies that were going against the Rise of
Yep.
Skywalker. What I do find interesting, though, is for whatever reason, I don't know if it's this person being lazy or what, or if they did a copy paste. Why doesn't it say episode 9?
Interesting. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird.
They haven't
and
really
then-
shown that
Oh, and
either
then-
in the
wait,
trailers. Have you noticed that? They haven't
Yeah.
really acknowledged it's
They
9.
just say the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
They don't really acknowledge it for anything in the sequel trilogy. It's all about the name, not the number.
Yeah, because
But
the number is tainted by 8, isn't it?
pretty much. And now we travel not so far into the future because it's only 5 days, Zod. It's only 5. It's not that far. It's only 5 days.
Now we have 1917, Little Woman.
Is that
My
a
God, you
movie
could have been
about a
showing
midget?
you could have been showing pictures of these the entire fucking time?
Yep.
Motherfucker.
Spies in the Skies, Just Mercy, and Clemency.
So isn't that Spies Through the Skies and that Will Smith?
Yes.
Yeah, people like Will Smith. Hey, Toriel is here.
Welcome,
Hello.
Toriel.
1917 is the World War I movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
I
going to
mean,
be
I
a
would
big.
hope so. I mean, if 1917 was a World War II movie, that would be a problem.
Could also be the weight of Ryan Johnson's ego.
Oh, no, that's too small. That's too small.
Oh, so it's just his head then.
Yeah,
Just that's
Probably
just
just
his
a-
head.
just an eyeball.
Yeah.
I do like how EVS goes. Yeah, you take a circle template, you hold it up to the screen on his head, boom, matches perfectly. It's a perfect circle.
You could just put your fist up to the screen and it matches perfectly.
No, I don't want to put my fist up to the screen. It's not
I
safe.
don't punch the screen. You just gently do it.
No, I don't want to go close to the screen. You're not supposed to touch the screen unless it's off and it's cooled down and you're cleaning
I'm touching the
it.
screen. I'm touching my screen.
Oh
Oh, you
my
can't see it, but
God,
I'm
you're not
touching my
supposed to
screen.
touch
Now.
the screen.
I'm doing
I
it
do it all the time.
Just for spite.
Motherfuckers.
Don't touch the screen.
I'm putting my mouth against the screen right
Oh my
above your
God.
avatar TV.
Oh my God! What?
Oh, God.
What?
I'm looking your glasses and your beard.
Oh my God!
This just got horrifying. Only in the fandom
Step away
zone.
from my step away from my lightsaber.
Hang on, I'm about to remove my boxers and do something else.
Oh God! Oh God! No!
You sent him the link, Zod.
Oh.
He woke up from a nap,
Oh yeah,
and you sent him the link, and he's like, "Oh, I can go on this stream and bullshit with these fuckers."
All right. You know, on that note, when we talk about licking screens, it's a good place to end this. In the
Wow,
words,
we got to keep going.
Let's end it with the shall we?
let's wrap it up, Zod. So,
Telling yourself to wrap it up.
yep.
Strain. Okay.
I broke the fourth wall.
Oh, that's not how you break the fourth wall.
It is in the fandom zone.
Holy shit.
Cybernetic Husky. Go ahead and tell them about your channel, and if you want, you've now got a wrench, so throw your link up.
Yeah,
And,
tell them about all your political videos.
And Star Wars videos.
I
Star
don't
Wars.
have.
You have
I
Star
do.
Wars videos.
I do have Star Wars videos. I have to turn off the music though because fucking Disney's a bitch. Like it's a copyright claim on them all. They just hear like a little bit of John Williams in there, all, nope, the
Yep.
whole video's claim. Anyways, I do gaming videos and stuff. I'm actually taking Thursdays off as a video day and doing Fridays just in case my videos freeze because they've been doing that a lot lately this month for some freaking reason. Anyways, my video will be up Friday. Not telling you guys what it is or anything, just that I yelled a lot in it.
Oh, so he was drumming.
No, it's not a drumming video. It is a gaming video. I'll leave it at this. I took a 40+ minute video and chopped it down to around 16, 18 minutes.
Oh, Minecraft.
Sure.
I have no idea what it is.
I told you. You can't tell them though.
I don't remember.
Well, just read your DMs.
I either don't remember or I didn't check the message yet. It's one of the two.
All right.
But yeah.
It's probably
Yeah.
both.
Excellent. Go ahead, Stig. Tell them about your 2.5 minute channel.
Oh, it's up to 3 minutes now.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I made a new video.
That's right, 3-minute channel.
Yeah. Excellent for binging while you're on the toilet. Not good for much else. Yeah, it's just a tiny little collection of weird short videos that I just did because of peer pressure.
Yep, that's what we do here.
Yeah, other than that, I'm on other people's channels. Right. Friend of the family or a mascot, if you will. Usually on Mary's channel or Chris or this channel.
And we appreciate having you in the fandom zone.
I love what Matt's Mama Bear says. She says, they've technically been done almost an hour. Just been rambling. That's what we do. That's exactly what. Matt, don't give out the secrets. And people will know I have no clue what the fuck I'm doing.
Quiet. Quiet.
Oh, man. Go ahead, PD. Tell them about your channel and all of the new great content that you have on there.
Okay. Yep. I got a channel on YouTube. It's the same as the name that you see on the screen or the name that you see in the chat. So click on my face. Go there. Watch a funny video.
It's all over it.
You can't see the H's? You don't see those H's?
I can't see your nickname because my mouth is all over it.
Oh, shit. Look in the chat. You'll see it in the chat. It'll be fine. It'll be wonderful. You can go to my channel. You can watch my reactions to Star Wars stuff. Or you can watch some High Council highlights that SJWs like to watch and apparently call me stupid over, which I find quite hilarious. I don't know why other people don't find it more hilarious when they're called dumb. That's all. So yeah, it was great being on the stream tonight with you, General. And if you get a chance, go check out Stevie J Reviews and The Lonely Banter and Perp Minded and Mad Squirrel.
Yes, the Bridge Crew has all been on assignment to bring you guys excellent new content. So expect great stuff. Perp has been watching anime. Lonely Man is being lonely. Squirrel's on assignment, gathering nuts. And so thank you, everybody. This has been another great fandom talks here with me and
This is not a fandom talks. This is late night talks with Zod and PB.
This is why I need to go to bed. But anyways, this has been another great chit chat with you guys. We laughed, we cried, we learned about wacky SJWs.
I didn't cry about shit.
You will.
Who cried?
Oh, okay. No one did. Zod cried over his chicken parmesan.
Oh, and it was magnificent. Let me tell you. I'll tell you off air. But anyways, definitely check out the channel. Sub to people. I will be having on some great guests for Phantom Talks. The newest one may feature a pretty new channel that's gained in popularity off of Geeks and Gamers. Been talking with them and confirmed that they might have a base that apparently echoes. So definitely check that out. It's going to be on my new time on Saturday. And I have some more great guests lined up for Fandom Talks. I'm talking with them. So hopefully I'll be talking with them live. But anyways, yeah, check that out. And we have a brand new segment called Watch Anime. Me, Perp, and Fatal J will be on this Sunday.
Oh my God.
Yep. Fatal J DM'd me. He said, "Hey, when can you get me on?" And I said, "When do you want to come on?" And he said, "For
I
anime."
want to talk anime, yo.
Yep. He wants to talk that anime. So we will talk anime on Sunday. It is going to be great. And we're going to give our thoughts because I've been just watching the 3rd season of Attack on Titan. So we'll be talking about that. Yes, people. Naked giants wrestling. It'll be fun.
It's
Awesome.
No.
So as always, thank you for coming, and remember the rule here in the zone: kneel before Zod.
I will never kneel before Zod. The North remembers.